how we shall be recorded for YouTube. So ready for you to call us on, Delma.
Okay, Mo, take it away.
Hello and welcome to Angora Poets World Cafe. My name is Mo Sigger, and I'm one of the poets in this cafe tonight. And we're happy that you've come on board to listen to us both live and on our YouTube channel, which is called Rorschach. We have a nice lineup for you tonight, and once again, we're going to render a lot in English and in other languages, and certainly in different styles. So I welcome you all aboard on this January 23rd, 2022 of the This Year Must Be Better year. And I want to call up first someone who left Paris recently and moved to Kansas City, Missouri. And she is a dance movement artist and a poet who's come out of the woodwork very impressively with us as a poet. So let me bring on first from Kansas City, Mo, Leticia Hollenberg. You're on, Leticia.
That face, bring me that face. Shine on me so bright I go blind. Cut me with your cheekbones, those lips so full they cover all of me. Bring it, entranced, subdued, tamed. I fall down on my knees. I bend over backwards. I bend over forwards. You eat me up, I am devoured. Lick my face. Lick my eyes. Lick my wounds. Cat on my hot tin roof, cat. I cannot tell you what to do. You decide on your own. You make me wait and wait and wait until the unbeknownst be known. Cat. Fish. Now you are a fish. Swimming here, swimming there, swimming all up inside of me. Fish. You swim away from me, fish. Bird. Now you are a bird. Come peck me with your pecker, bird. I want to wrap my thighs around your black feathers, bird. We fly high. We fly high. You fly away from me, bird. Snake. Now you are a snake. Slithering here, slithering there, sliding up all inside of me, snake. You slide away from me, snake. Monkey. Now you are a monkey. Swinging from tree to tree, monkey. Swing on down and taste my fruit, monkey. With your long tail, monkey. Cat, fish, bird, snake, monkey, monkey, monkey.
Wow, applause mita. Wow. Boy, you just warmed up the room, Leticia.
That's catfish, bird, snake, monkey.
Yeah. You've got you got more sensuality than Jane Goodall, I'll tell you that. Woo, that was some hot stuff. That's a good way to open up the evening. Great. Do you have number 2 for us?
Wind, blowing in the wind. the wind in the trees. I'm the leaves on the trees. Blow through me, rustle me up. I don't want to fall. Don't make me fall. Wind, blowing in the wind in the trees.
Okay, okay. Sensuality. Okay, and now if you would give us what we call three is a charm. Three is a charm, Leticia.
Magnolia, 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 make me feel so good. Magnolia, 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 like I knew you would. Fried chicken, black-eyed peas, butter, butter, butter beans, sweet potato chitlins, vinegreens. Magnolia, 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 make me feel so good. Magnolia, 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 like I knew you would. Fat arms, big bosom, swallow me up. I need your soft pillow, your warm heart. Magnolia, 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 make me feel so good. Magnolia, 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 like I knew you would. Maggie, Maggie, magnolia.
All right, okay. Wow.
And
Reminded me
that
of that.
one, if I can say a little story, was written in Memphis. I was home visiting and the magnolias were in full bloom. And a poet said, let's go check out this open mic. I said, okay. And they had soul food there. It was a Black run restaurant in Memphis. And sitting there, he gets up on stage, like walks right up. And then he invites me on stage. I was completely unprepared.
Mhm.
So I was thinking about that magnolia bloom I had seen that day. And then I just took the mic and went around and started reading the menu. So that's how that piece was born, with the fried chicken, black-eyed peas, butter, butter, butter beans, sweet potato chitlins, vinegar greens.
Oh, now you're making me hungry. Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Sweet magnolia, honeysuckle dripping from the vine. Like to be in Louisiana where I feel fine. Okay, Leticia, that was really good stuff. Thank you. And I know you have to go off to a meeting. Is that right? You have to...
I have a few more minutes. So I'd love to stay as long as I can to visit with the other poets.
Okay, good. Glad to have you on board.
And then
And
I'll just disappear and come back if I can.
that'll be good. And glad to have you.
Thank you, Mo. Mo.
Yes. Glad to have you returned, Leticia. And the last thing I want to say is, when we talked about Leticia coming on some weeks ago, she said, well, I'm not a poet. I said, well, we introduce, other creative artists who identify with poetry. And then she said, well, I might have, maybe a small poem or two. You get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? Okay. Let's welcome, for here in Paris, Claire Andriani. Hi, Claire.
Hi, everyone. So happy to
Hey,
be
Claire. Good to see you, Claire.
Thank you.
Okay. Be waiting to hear from you. Okay. All right. So next, where did he put his list? All right. That would be me. I had who did I have on next? Jesus Christ.
Patricia. Supposed to be me.
Patricia. Good.
Leticia, Patricia.
Are you Patricia this week? Never call you Patty, right?
You can go with Patty, but never Pat.
Oh, okay. Good enough.
He's an impact.
Okay. And now, from the heart of Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, we present the host of Brownstone Poets, who is issuing an calls for an anthology for the Brownstone Poets Anthology. And so, and as she is both a host and an editor in her own right, one of our fine poets, Patricia Kerrigan, you're on.
Okay, first one is Tomorrow's My Turn, inspired by Nina Simone. This is my pantoum, first pantoum I ever done. Always at midnight, when the moon is full, cracked mirrors leave unsolved puzzles. Days and nights follow star-crossed maps, broken pipe dreams amid a rusted future. Cracked mirrors leave unsolved puzzles, add 7 more years of bad luck. Broken pipe dreams amid a rusted future. Your problems become roommates, broken pipe dreams amid a rusted future. Tomorrow won't guarantee my turn. Your problems become roommates, our doubts and regrets. Tomorrow won't guarantee my turn. Days and nights follow star-crossed maps, our doubts and regrets. Always at midnight when the moon is full.
Yeah. Midnight will shake things up, won't they, Patricia? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
okay. Nina
Go ahead.
Simone inspired Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood, not the animals.
No, that was Nina.
It was the animals, but Nina really blows it away.
She kills it.
Life has its problems. You claim I'm part of them. Say the wrong words at the wrong time and place. Look around you. Am I responsible for your shortcomings, frustrations, loss, and outrage? You saw yourself in the mirror, broken into 1,000 regrets, needed me to pick up those pieces, carry each one as my responsibility. Don't let me be misunderstood when I say I'm not your lover's keeper. Every rose petal inside this mattress is making room for 1,000 thorns. I'm only human, and the bed I've made is now yours.
Whoa, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
This next one is not jazz, but it was inspired from a white birch in my neighborhood and what I had in my dream. The first 2 stanzas are haiku, and the last 2 are tankas.
And this is inspired by a birch tree, did you say?
A white birch tree in my neighborhood.
Okay.
And also the dream, I fused it with the dream I had in bed. The last 2 from my dream, but I somehow incorporated the birch into the ending.
Okay.
White birch. 1. Golden radiance against blue December sky. White birch on corner. 2. Birds rest on white birch. Yellow leaves, even brighter under winter sky. 3. Tiger, large and fierce, transforms. A Bengal cat cries. Inside the ashram, a statue in white and gold awakens, offers solace. 4. A single feather from Freya's V-necked collar calms his yellowed eyes. Birds return to the white birch. Snow covers its fallen leaves. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Hey. Tribute to a tree. All right, E.E. Cummings. Remembered. Claire. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Patricia, and keep up the work. And well, I do, and many people wait very, very enthusiastically for Patricia's collection to come out as a jazz collection dedicated to your jazz divas. So we'll be glad when that comes out as one complete collection. Really. Okay. And remember Brownstone Poets, everybody. Okay, so next, I seem to have lost the list I made.
I was up next, Mo. I'll save you the trouble.
Okay, save me the trouble because I have limited storage space. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Fair, that's fair.
Okay, so now everybody, I want to present. First of all, I want to say hi to Carolina. Hi, Caroline. Good to see you. Okay.
Hi.
Good to see you. Okay, so we're going to hear now, Caroline, and everybody else, our first time participation from Manny. And Manny, as I mentioned earlier in the chat, is Israeli from Jerusalem, who's lived for a couple years in New York and now lives in Paris and renders in 3 languages, of course, Hebrew being one of them, English and French. So let's give him a nice Angora Poets first time welcome to Manny. Welcome, Manny. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So the first poem, as I said, is going to be a poem I translated from the Hebrew of Yona Volach, who's a huge, very powerful feminist Israeli poet from the 60s, writing about moments after a psychedelic experience that she had in a mental hospital.
Whoa.
Yeah. There are storms, there be lightnings. There are voices in stone on tops of trees. There silver beams, and there life lives. And at the other end are the hushed and concealed. There are motions, there are waves. There are odes and the birds and the bees. There celestial bodies, and there feathered beings. And at the other end, concealed in the reels. There are clouds, there lilies last. There delights, there lovers hold fast. There for casualties erect, the violins lament, and at the other end, concealed and stagnant.
Wow. Okay.
I can read the Hebrew if you wanted to hear the...
Please do. Yes, please.
שם יש סופות, שם יש ברקים, שם יש קולות ואבן על עצים, שם כסף זורח, ושם יש חיים, ובעבר השני שותקים ונחבאים. שם יש תנועות, שם יש גלים, שם יש זמירות וכפל להבים, שם גופות שמימיים ושם מצויצים, ובעבר השני נחבאים בממשים. שם יש רפידות, שם יש שושנים, שם מתעלפים, שם תומכים אהובים, שם מחללים בחלילים לחללים עומדים, ובעבר השני נחבאים ואין זורמים.
Okay. טוב מאוד. So,
תודה רבה.
טוב מאוד. Okay. So, number 2, Manny.
Number 2, I'll read a short prose piece I wrote in Vienna a couple of weeks ago. Probably more like an introduction to me and my experience.
Okay.
And it's all English, so apologies for all the Hebrew expectation. So it's called Heldenplatz, after the square I've been writing it in. As I was walking back home from the cold outside, carrying a pink tote bag from Vienna's Shakespeare and Company, which I had felt was screaming at the uptight Austrian passerby, I looked at the low, habitually gray sky and saw it being scarred pink by the trail of a passing jet. Immediately, Roberto Bolaño's novel, A Distant Star, flooded my mind. The half moon showed its 3-day pregnant belly, radiating and washing the sky around it bridal white. The balcony to my left, where Hitler gave his successful annexation speech, screamed and cursed for my attention beneath the innocent moon, and I could imagine Adolf as an innocent child running poor in the streets of Vienna, envious of Klimt and Schiele, without being able to even imagine their existence. A simple, common, innocent mob of one. The jet's cloud trail retained a fixed, moving length, tattooing the sky with phosphorescent, pink of a placenta or strangled necks, and I could see Bolaño taking this whole scene in, falling to his knees on the gravel and searching his own pockets like a maniac for a notebook. The passerby must have thought he was searching for glasses, but not having one and repeating the key lines in his head over and over again, straining to keep the sentence that would birth the novel as loud in his head as were the ignorant German incitements he had heard translated worldwide. And I could hear these incitements against women and the elderly, the incitement of a boiling youth betrayed by unkept promises and instability, an innocent youth that is about to do something unforgivable. Again, But these future histories were cached in my delusion of Bolaño, of how this stumbling youth like me was walking home. And coincidentally, we were guests in the same building, though on different floors, repeating stray lines in his head like a maniac. And I wanted to kiss the cold pavements of Vienna for letting me hallucinate.
All right, nice, bravo. Apalazamita. Okay, now the one line, Manny, about the bright pink bag offended the Austrian passerby or something. That was a cool line.
Yeah, it actually felt like it. They're very,
Would
very
you
uptight people.
Would you recite that line again about bright pink in the Austrian passerby?
Okay. As I was walking back home from the cold outside, carrying a pink tote bag from Vienna's Shakespeare and Company, which I had felt was screaming at the uptight Austrian passerby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. All right. So, as we say, give us three as a charm, Manny.
The third is a translation to French from Hebrew of song. Actually, it's a brilliant poet, playwright, writer who was part of a very strong countercultural Israeli band, and it's called. I'll just quickly say the story in English if anyone doesn't know French, just so it can work around. It's called When Napoleon Conquers Acre, which is obviously the battle he never was able to win. He never reached Israel because he was stopped at the north of Israel at Acre. And it's a song about a soldier who says that to his lover, you said that when Napoleon conquers Acre, you're going to be mine, which is kind of like when hell freezes over. Then he speaks to Napoleon, apologizing for winning the battle because he wants Napoleon to win, because he wants the lover. I'll read it in Hebrew first, real quick, and then I'll read the French translation. את אמרת שכשנפוליאון יכבוש את עכו, את תהיי שלי. את תהיי שלי כשנפוליאון יכבוש את עכו. את אמרת שכשנפוליאון יכבוש את עכו, את תהיי שלי. אז אני יושב כאן ומחכה שנפוליאון יכבוש את עכו. הכובסת היא כועסת, כי הווסת לכלכה את הדגל הלבן שהם הכינו לכבודך. חיילי העיר רוצים רק להצהיר על השמחה, הם יורים רק באוויר, אם זה פוגע הסליחה. את אמרת שכשנפוליאון יכבוש את עכו, את תהיי שלי. את תהיי שלי כשנפוליאון יכבוש את עכו. הוא ישרוף את בית הכנסת, בית העם ובית הבושת. את התינוקות ייקח והוא יירה להם בראש, הוא יבנה פסלים בכל מיני גדלים, כולם שלו. הוא ישאל אם את תהיי שלי ואת תגידי לא, שאת אמרת שכשנפוליאון יכבוש את עכו, את תהיי שלי. So I'll finish here because it has a repeat, but I'll just read the French now. Tu m'as dit que quand Napoléon conquérera, tu seras à moi. Tu seras à moi quand Napoléon le conquérera. Tu m'as dit que quand Napoléon conquérera, tu seras à moi. Alors je me pose là, en attendant que Napoléon en fasse sa proie. La blanchisseuse est malheureuse à cause des règles qui ont taché les drapeaux blancs qu'on a fait hier soir pour vous couronner. Les soldats de la vie, ils veulent juste déclarer leur grande joie. Ils ne tirent qu'en l'air. Si ça vous touche, pardonnez-moi. Tu m'as dit que quand Napoléon conquérera, tu seras à moi. Tu seras à moi quand Napoléon le conquérera. Il va brûler la synagogue, les biblios et les bordées. Il va prendre les bébés et leur tirer dans la tête. Construira des sculptures dans toutes sortes de tailles à son image. Il demandera si tu seras mienne et tu lui diras que tu m'as dit que quand Napoléon conquérera, tu seras à moi. Tu seras à moi quand Napoléon le conquérera. Okay. Alors je me pose là en attendant que Napoléon en fasse sa proie. Sorry for my ill pronunciation.
Well, Claire is French, and she just gave you the New York cheer. All right. Et moi, quand je parle français, c'est pas évident, mais je parle avec mon accent, comme tout le monde ici. Thank you very much, Manny, and we welcome him as his first time with Angora Poets. That's a very impressive first time. As we do, I think it's fair to say on behalf of us all, Manny is re-invited to be with the Angoras. All in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, thank you, Manny. Now, I'm still lucky enough to have my job, which is who goes next? I lost my list. Speak, please. Somebody.
Ermira.
Ermira. Okay. Ermira from New Jersey, who is Albanian and has recited to us in both wonderful English and Albanian. So, and she's published a lot of really, really standout poetry. So let's welcome on board Ermira Mitra. Hello, Ermira.
Hello, Mo. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm going to read 3 poems. The first one are just admitted for publication from Transcendent Zero Press in USA.
Yes.
And the second of these 2, I'll read it in Albanian. It's short, so I won't keep you long on that.
Oh.
Then I'll read a third one.
Please.
In certainty, I confess. The purple plum stares at me, schemed from its own robe. Shameless in her nakedness, there she stands as a pregnant statue. On the base of my palm, carved by my fingertips, threaded in its veins, the pulp feels ripened, sweet, fresh, and cheered up. She's its own flesh. In grief, my hunger jumps out indeed, silently walks over the purple body, quietly thrusts all its own tyrant teeth in search for an ancient virgin intimacy. In chunks, the noise reverberates in air as juice breaks out like womb's waters, heavily flooding my mouth's vacancy. Pulp gets instrumental in my rusted stomach, humming the song of a psychedelic ecstasy. Then this silent monarch ruling as hunger fully surrenders a woman after childbirth. Thus I confess in my own certainty, hunger, a sensation that can be reversed.
Wow, thank you. Okay. Woo. Dive in. Ermira, that one line about in search of a, what was it? In search of a virgin. You want to finish that line?
Virgin intimacy. In search
Okay.
for an ancient virgin intimacy.
Wow. At virgin intimacy. I'll bite. What is a ancient virgin intimacy? Key word here being virgin and intimacy. That's interesting. It can happen, of course.
Yeah, we are aware of that, right?
Well, I hate to sound like ignorant, but yeah, even I'm getting aware of that. No, but I found that fascinating, because we usually do, interactive when we talk about intimacies and a virgin intimacy. That's cool.
Thank you, Mom. A moment of hunger. There comes a moment of hunger when spirits fly away, out beyond the rainbow, hidden from my sight. As we feel them pass by between the air tendrils, they've become conquerors of the dome of heavens. Our hearts hunger for their earthly presence, wrapped in the fragile, cloudy cloak of loss. As an act of love, we lit the burning candles, stretched the candlelight to touch their missing souls.
Ooh, wow.
I'll read this in, you're welcome. I'll read this in Albanian too.
Please.
Momentu rrie. Vjen një qast e shpirtrat fluturojnë larg. Për te ylberit I fshihen dritës së syrit. Mes fjollave të ajrit bëjnë pushtues të kupës së qiellit. Ne mbështjell me mantel të brishtresht për t'i prekur zgjatemi me flakën e qiririt. And the third one is A Hidden Hunger, which is published today online, and it's also in a recording.
Good.
It's published by Review in Paris.
Oh, the Paris Review?
It's the Paris Review, right? Yes.
Well, that's one of the leading reviews on the planet. So wow, fireworks. She's in the
Oh.
Paris Review, y'all. Wow, that's like arguably considered one of the leading literary publications in the world, Ermira.
Wow, I'm flattered.
We're proud to have you. Go ahead.
I have a chance to thank the team of editors, and one of them is David, right? David is here.
For the Paris Review?
I think David is in the Paris Review editorial team, right? I think so. Anyway.
No, I'm not
Are
with the Paris Review. Are you talking about Review Revolution, perhaps?
Yeah.
Slightly less prestigious, but still a great publication.
Yeah, Review Revolution, yes.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. But it's not quite the Paris Review. But
it's a fine review, telling you that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay, Ermira, let's hear it. Three's a charm, sister.
Okay. A hidden hunger. I bear a hidden hunger inside my chest to tailor a new dress for my subconscious of a bright white fabric with no shadows, no dark corners, no distorted lines, no load in the pockets, no sorrows in bending the sides like tunnels where the light shadows shine, with no tears and cracks where the bright color fades, no traumas hidden in the sleeve and in the colors. Who knows what stories shelter inside them. I need the dress not to be stretchy, not to wrinkle and wilt as a flower, not to shrink from rainwater, not to hold ponds in the angles where my subconscious can drown. A different image might be a shocking match. I carry a heavy hunger inside self to rewrite my subconscious over straight lines on calligraphy sheets, but it bends and breaks and cuts the curves. My subconscious becomes cursive to feel the substance of words. It's hard to accept a crooked subconscious, so I scramble the image on the sheets. I hold the hunger hidden inside my chest to unweave the old sweater of my subconscious that still keeps warm the resistant body of past memories. Thank you all.
Wow, thank you.
Well,
Subconscious for a lifetime. You got it. We've already talked about dreams and you're expressing it. Okay, that was very nice. Thank you very much, Ermira, and for doing it in Albanian as well for us. Okay, folks, who was number next after Ermira?
I am.
Okay, so we're glad to announce now that we're moving from New Jersey a couple thousand miles away to the west coast of Africa, to Ghana. And we are featuring now our Ghana poet, who we like to call the critic because of her positive comments to our poetry. And this is Benedicta. Hello, Benedicta.
Hi, Mom.
Okay. So we're waiting to hear you.
Okay. So with the first one, I'll take a retrospective look at Martin Luther King Jr.'s quotes. So I read.
There's a little distortion. So you're gonna take a look at what?
I'm not that loud. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you clear. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so with the first one, I'll take a retrospective look at Martin Luther King's quotes.
Okay, Martin Luther King.
Yes, I read. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Freedom is never voluntary, given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. The time is always right to do what is right. True peace isn't merely the absence of tension, it's the presence of justice. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right defeats stronger than evil triumphs. I have decided to stick with love. Be a bush if you cannot be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a travel. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it isn't by the size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. Life's more persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? That's the first one.
Bravo. And given the landscape so much in the world today, so polarized, it's so right. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. All right.
Exactly.
Number two. Yeah, exactly. Number two, Benedicta.
Number two is a monoku.
Anonoko. Okay.
So I take it contemplated, an adjunct of the past. I take it again.
Please.
Contemplated, an adjunct of the past. That's the monoku.
Okay. And three's a charm, Benedicta.
Okay, the third one, I just drafted it today. I don't know how it will sound, but I'm taking it. So I read, contemptuous stirs, extricate in blunder of a drifting pattern, captured and encumbered, the brokenness of a murmur, which deflects resonance of domains, enormous in effect of a cascading past, an openness of lurid and stunning phrases of the past. That will be all.
Okay, that will be very nice. Thank you, Benedicta.
You're
all right.
welcome.
Okay, the critic has spoken. All right, Benedicta. Now, folks, help me out here. Who's the next poet after Benedicta? I know you're in there somewhere. Genie Nakano. Okay, let's go from the warm west coast of Ghana to the warm Pacific beaches of Los Angeles, California, and bring on Genie Nakano. Hello, Genie.
Hi.
Okay.
This one I wrote about something happened in my family, my son, and it's called Scramble. It was written a long time ago. Things are much better now. They were on vacation, the young promising doctor, his wife and mother-in-law, when his young wife heard his phone vibrating. She answered the call. It was a text from a woman. The woman and her husband were playing Scrabble. Later, wife, a very savvy person, hacked husband's computer, found hundreds of steamy graphic love letters between husband and woman. Wife downloaded all letters, forwarded them to his superiors, his family, his friends, her family, her friends. She reads the steamy letters over and over and over again. Then, wife packs her bags, takes her 2 children on a flight back to Boston. 10 years, wife sacrificed her lovely tennis career, helped her husband through medical school. A familiar soap, a novella story, and wife ended it. And the Tonka? The pen is mightier than the sword. The computer, a nuclear bomb. That.
The computer, that's proven to be true. All right. Okay, Jeannie. And so they're getting along better now, you're saying?
Oh, he remarried somebody else.
Oh, well, that would account for it. Yeah.
The steamy affair.
Okay.
And we all love her. We think she's great.
Okay. Number 2, Jeannie.
This one, I was feeling really down, so I'm going to read a down one. And that's why people haven't seen me for a while. And this is what I was going through. It's untitled. I need a new life, a new country, refresh. The world's passing me by. I'm getting old. I need to be grateful. Can't I be happy? I'm alive with a beating heart. Not today. Not as the gray mist from above sprinkles down from the sky. I should make something, bake something. Wish I wasn't a poet working with words trying to understand what I'm saying. As a dancer, I made a living with my whole body engaged. There was always something new, a child that made me laugh, a costume to be made, staid hands and lights, glitter, sequins, and silk. But not here. On the Zoom, reaching out to tiny faces, listening to others' griefs and beliefs, filing away pages, notebooks, journals, and where's my paper? Oh, it's here. But writing doesn't fulfill this ex-dancer's life. Those yearly recitals, making the programs, selling tickets, raffling door prizes, potluck grandeur. Alas, I'm 73. It's time to give up the shoes. I repeat, the abbess of the temple died at 2:45 a.m. Her last words, that's it.
Wow. All right. Yes.
I'm better now. But you know, around Christmas, I used to give little children's and dance recitals and presents and raffles. And after my 2 hip replacements, I kind of had to give up professional dancing. And then I really got immersed in poetry. But sometimes it just doesn't have the same power to me that dancing did. That was my first love.
Yeah, okay, quite understandable. First love is just that. And I'd like to recall to all of us that a couple months ago, you did that video where you danced, you know, in a gown. And that was a wonderful, that was a really, really good performance video. So we, you know, I featured that here, if you remember.
Thank you. That was with my hip replacements. I can't jump and do the splits. And besides, I'm 74. So, you know, I'm not going to do the same kind of stuff that I used to, but.
Yeah. Okay, well, remember.
Dancing anyway, I don't care. I'm joining an Indonesian dance troupe.
Oh, okay.
And it's slower.
Okay. All right. And you remind us, it's not the years in our life, but the life in our years.
Yeah, it was just, you know, that Christmas stuff I was going through. I feel differently now, but once in a while, you know, you go through stuff, right? And
Yeah, like when I see the mirror in the morning, I feel you. I go, please don't crack. Please don't. Good God, coffee, help me now.
okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh
Did,
my God.
did we get to freeze the charm?
No, not yet. So
Mhm.
I'm just going to read you. My girlfriend wanted to do a sequence with me, so she said, let's write a sequence of erotic haiku. So I wrote 10 of them, and she never wrote me one back. So I told her, choose one. So you can choose one. So these are them. They're haiku. I don't know where to send them because we don't have anything in haiku like this. So I'm just holding on to them.
Okay, well, before I forget, there is a publisher who does exclusively erotic, and it's a woman.
And it's
I
haiku.
need to get, yeah, she publishes exclusively erotic poetry.
Well, let me know, okay? Because
Okay.
I don't know where to go. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is, whoa, take it easy. Gently ease down the labyrinth, mountain man. My lips will fill your lingam till there's nothing left to give. My thighs will lock you in embrace until I'm satisfied. Call me greedy, I'm a whore who wants more, more, more. Stream deep into my purple seed lips, sow your seeds. Headlight shine, bounce and jingle, slap. Burn that bra, my bra. Tenderly, he wraps me in his arms around me. Spring waterfall. His breath intoxicating, but I'm married. All my clothes on, I come. His touch, his kiss, his fragrance. I'm afraid to even touch him, the Big Dipper. He couldn't make me laugh.
I like it.
Okay. Honey, hazy moon, dripping nectar on my thighs, just a dream gone by. That's all, folks.
Wow, that's good. Thank you. Woo. Keeping it hot tonight. Man, we're coming up with sensuality and erotica. What is a lingam, please?
That's what y'all know what it is, don't you, Bill? I see you laughing. It's
You have one, Mo, but Genie doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that Latin? Is that what that is? Lingam.
Well,
Latin.
From the Kama
like,
Sutra.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Wow, I'll have to give myself a new name now. Welcome to my kingdom. Welcome to my lingam.
Okay, well, give me that place that I could send these to, or they're just, I'll
Okay.
keep adding more. I'm waiting for my friend to respond to me. She has not.
Well, she's missing the boat here because you've churned some warm water with these haiku.
Okay.
All right. Well, all right. And I will get to you directly. I have to look her up through Jane's spoken word.
I'd really appreciate it. Yeah.
And we'll give it to you. Exclusively erotic poetry.
I can't send it into Frog Pond or Acorn.
Okay. All right. Well, you can certainly send it to this woman's site, and we're certainly glad to hear it here at Angora. So thank you so much.
Good, Mo. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Frog Pond is they're very like elitist.
Yeah, you know
They're
it.
terrible.
Right? Yeah, I agree.
They make you feel, and I write haiku. Yeah, the Haiku Society, a bunch of freaking snobs.
Right.
Oh.
Don't let me mouth.
Yeah, don't get me started with them.
Yeah,
Let me get, mum's the word. Let me shut my mouth.
Yeah, because
Thank you.
we're the unauthorized poets. No snobbery here. Okay, that's great. Okay, so now following Genie, we have dun, 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 dun. Who is following Genie?
Here, Laura.
Laura, are you following Genie?
Oh, it was me? Okay, I thought Bill went before.
No, it's Bill, Laura, and then me.
Okay, it's me then.
So now, okay. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, right here in cloudy, cold Paris, France, from New Jersey, is a man who's published several chapbooks and reads about town and online now. And we call him the judge because he has no ambiguity about his opinions. And that's Bill Strangmire. Billy, you're on.
Yeah, I was interrupted. I just got a new book in the mail.
Okay, well, spill it.
Well, it's I didn't come here to tap dance by Nagoma Hill.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's not on with us tonight, but you got his book then.
It just came.
Okay. We wish he were on with us tonight to talk about it, but that's good that he's got it out.
Okay. Okay, well, first one, it's a quote from Camille Paglia. Like art, sex is fraught with symbols. This is called Striving. Let us now pronounce love. Let us now engage in the dance. I'll flatter you and you will be tender towards me. I'll think up words and you'll think up acts, acts of kindness and musical words, all of them gestures of art. Fiction and performance will be raised up into life as the lightness and laughter are put into frames and choreography becomes the rule for each step. That seeing you makes me feel good. That hearing you makes me feel good. That touching you makes me feel good shall be insufficient in our soap opera dance, for we'll each much despise mere kindness, seeking a higher up torture on the totem pole to brag. You will take a position of sexual trance, and I shall seek to blandish embroidery. Yet what I really feel is unswerving peace, always with a steadfast calm, and this is what I've sought in all of my adventures through the maze of loves, and what the strain of melodrama's toil can easily turn cheap. I feel no misery, you are not melted down, and life is just as good as the wanted paradigm permits. Unlike in youth, sweet callow gall of youth, I've now no need to justify an adolescent longing for a me more cinematic than I am. Just if you kiss me or I take your arm, or if you hold my hand and we speak of all and naught, we'll smile at passions, remake love and hold to this. Oh, this.
Oh, that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Billy, number 2.
Okay. Quote from Leonardo Sciascia, an Italian poet. Il silenzio è vorace sulle cose, mutare il nulla in parole. Silence is voracious of things, changes nothing into words. Words of the prophet. We do not care for the coming storm, for we are immortal. Our lives as spoiled children are sacred to God, our protector. The ways of our people are nothing to me, for I would be rich. What has been lost are merely the wages of growth and my right, and I will talk for hours just to teach you who I am and why. The voices never wane, nor do they lower, nor ever cut off short. The sky spreads pink and blue and orange, oil black at times. And we, ambitious for that sky, will fill it full of our long jokes. The colors now are ours, and we the gestures who brought down the kings. So here is how we'll lay the law atop your sheepish grins. The east and west will now be up and down, both flat, and all you think you know is turned and crushed to dust. The liturgy is banned, and pop songs now shall smirk our hymns. Your dreams shall now be made to feed my golden reveries, and you shall listen as I fill to the top the void I see and hate with all my script. But now, for me, the grumbler, Today on the metro, I spied a young maiden all wrapped in natty rags, a thin gold ring smart in her nose, sunburst mussed hair, and a full-lipped smile to light up the dullest train, purling on to the boy she loved, he moving slowly, not by tactic, but from shyness, he presenting technique, she the spark, both intoxicated by their joy, just like me in the old days when I still could fall, ere chirruping was yoked and whipped and bound to copyright.
Okay. All right. Good reminiscing. Okay, Billy. Three's the charm, Bill.
Okay. Now I'll be the judge. A quote from Terry Pratchett. I get it, said the prisoner. Good cop, bad cop, eh? If you like, said Vimes, but we're a bit short-staffed here. So if I give you a cigarette, would you mind kicking yourself in the teeth? This is called Iconoclasm for the Dim, to R. Crumb. The burning of comic books is well begun. I hear the howling of the mob, the earnest dumbass crowd bereft of irony and understanding thought. What can be done to save the world from all the petty idiocy of now, a world brought on by COVID and ambitious fools and bastards, bitches, pigs? I would not take the modern road of outrage at interpretation of each minor thing, try banning books or vandalizing art I do not understand, as if some Mrs. Grundy, axe in hand and hatred in a mind made jealous by its lack of power, become a raving mad disciple of the mustached Austrian, while still a loud-mouthed lover and defender of the rights of those she feels she's better than. The sorry state of humankind comes from the will to power born of hate, a hatred sprung from jealousy of everyone whose talent, strength, possessions we have ever wished we had, from all desires we've had to be the better loved. The world of thought we lived in with a flow of free ideas is not the world that we'd hoped to found when we would end the war with love. But we were artless in our thought that cosmic love, free sex, equality, world peace from beauty queens, long hair would sell to plastic robots, bitter veterans betrayed in wars, believers in the evil of their births, the boss, the cultists of the TV money god, and of the majority of shiverers in fear. And all the gormless made subhuman now have infiltrated everywhere. They carry on their war against humanity while shouting slogans, never mind of right or left. Their goal is understanding of what's art, as long as sex and freedom of expression can be crushed into a can and thrown out of the harsh nostalgia for a hypocrite's vision of what's right, a righteousness of the fist and boot or of slander and exclusion, two sides of a cop. Some grow up hating bullies as some have a love of peace or calm discussion. Others feel affection, love the humans all around, would rather smile than growl. For some, a sense of humor means exposure of what's wrong by various means, and some just want to do what's right while causing no great harm. But we're all stupid when we're young because we are so smart. Mistakes are made. I hope to not be judged by idiot remarks I copied young and hope I did not hurt. But still I sought transcendence of the mean old world in many ways, ways you may not understand because you scorn my worn out shoes, because you weren't there, because you have an axe to grind, because of partiality. And those of us who sought like Hylas to be captured by a pond of nymphs, those of us who sought redemption through confession, those who hated laws, the ones who never bought the scam of creeds, the naive winners, naive losers then, the victims then of those who are official victims now, the lost uneducated and the ones with accents, brilliant bastards, hold up as a mark of stupid evil clowns, may wonder how they dare revise our lives, misrepresent our minds and swear that we are worse than they, that they know right from wrong, can educate. The silliness and sorrow piled upon the common ground on everyone who speaks comes now from both high-minded crabs and lowbrow goons, allied in shameful hate. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. They're wars against nature to put us and our minds into chains. It's for money, for power, for a chain of command, for the right to sneer and make starve, and now to control the newly discovered life of the mind they once despised because it was kind of gay.
Mm. Okay. Okay, Bill. All right.
That's why
Okay.
he's the judge.
That's why he's the judge. Lay down the gavel, brother. All right. Thank you, Bill. Okay, I found my list. It was on the floor. At least something's okay. So so here we go. So next we're gonna go to Laura. Hello, Laura Greville. And which country are you in this evening?
Well, I'm in the middle of England in Omicron land, but I'm going to take you to Austria.
Wow, Austria keeps coming up tonight. Okay.
Well, I'm going to give a little different perspective, perhaps.
Okay.
Some of you know that last time I did the beginning piece or two of my Geography of My Life, Fierce Barefoot Love came, and then I think I did something else from it. But the next piece of that, the first one started in Texas and Mexico, and these follow where I lived, and then this one is Austria, and this is a lighter moment, so it's and a different perspective. You know, there are a lot of realities, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
This is called Turning 40 at a Tupperware Party. And this is before COVID, before Trump, you know, we're going back a few years. It is, and Mo, I'm doing one piece, it's longer.
Okay.
It is strange to be 39 years old and afraid to attend a Tupperware party. But that is what happened. You see, I left my Texas homeland and moved to rural Austria. So there I was on a farm at a Tupperware party, having brought my husband and children with me so that I would not be alone. The problem, you know, was the language. Mühlviertler folk don't speak German. They speak Mühlviertlerish. I spoke neither. At the party, I sit surrounded by women whose words all sound so similar to me. They say, Mousin, mousin, drausen, lousen, mousin, mousin, lousen, yousen. I nod companionably, the sort of feminist who is repulsed yet eager to be included in this international Hausfrau's female bonding ritual, especially at the mystical yet despised, sexy yet not always publicly admitted 40th. I take a plate with cake. Grüß Gott, I say, and shake the hands of two arriving women. And it's Mousin, mousin, lousin, yousin. I smile and nod. We eat cake, drink cafe, but like a preschooler. I cannot read or understand how to fill out the sign-in sheet and pass it on to my German-speaking husband, my caretaker, my babysitter in this new land. He is the only man attending this women's ritual. To him, I whisper, I cannot understand a word they say. Should we go? Oh, no. I admire the colorful Tupper brochure and delightedly recognize the word Tupperware. I sit up attentively as the Tupper Führer begins her spiel. Mausen, Lausen, Jausen, Tupper, 1000 Mausen, Lausen, 2000 Schilling. I'm excited. I understood the price. The talk drones on, and I snatch onto the words, Mikrowelle, Mausen, Lausen, Mikrowausen. The ladies all grin and nod, and somehow I know they are laughing because the Führer is trying to sell them microwavable Tupperware. A neighbor eyes me nervously, then leans close. Mausen, Lausen, Holzofen. I nod feverishly. Yeah. I agreed to let her know I got it. She means the ladies only have wood-burning ovens. At certain intervals in the speech of the Tupperware, the Frauen bend over their brochures and write notes. Perhaps they are going to buy everything the Tupper lady talks about. I feel underprepared for such industry. And suddenly, I'm homesick. Tears sting my eyes. But now my small children leap into my lap and I try to curb their frenzied cookie intake and help them balance full to the brim glasses of juice in this land of no napkins. Though this world of perilous, brink of spills disasters is nerve-wracking, I cling to it. The Tupperware picks up a bowl she has shown us twice before, but this time not in orange or blue. Mousen, Yosen, Lausen, she continues doggedly. I stare at the lilac bowl, decide that color is not going to make most food look appetizing, turn back to the brochure for the 8th time. I find the Tupperware popsicle forms my mother bought for us as children and joyfully point them out to my husband. I imagine a romantic scene, my children sitting outside in Austria in the summer heat, licking popsicles made from our own berry juice. But will it ever be that warm here? Out the window I see snow and mountains. Certainly, home-baked bread is more practical in this climate. I turn to my husband, the bread baker, who has quickly and efficiently scanned the brochure, found the bread knife and bread dough bowl he needs, and that are, as far as he is concerned, the reason we came. Mausen, Jausen, the Tupperware asks, sad-eyed. 300 shilling. I nod enthusiastically, but she seems defeated. Mausen, Lausen, Jausen. Viel Dank. She stops. The ladies smile, relieved, and invite me to stay on for the real party after the party. But my husband pulls me and the children up with a Danke sehr, an explanation in German which I imagine means, we must go. I have a hernia. I eye him anxiously, see no odd reaction from the ladies, shrug and shake all hands twice. Then I hear, Frau Grevel. I freeze, take a step backward. Jau, me a Frau. I refuse, I am not, oh Gott, Frau. That rhymes with ow and sow and cow and even frown. We depart into the cold. I shiver. I have survived the Tupper party in a foreign language. As we walk down the mountain toward our new farm, I breathe the clear, fresh air, look out over soft white meadows, see distant forests and mountains. The sky is rosa and gold. Frau. Well, Frau also rhymes with now and wow and even schau. So, how now, brown cow? Eine Frau, schau. Eine 40er Frau. A 40-year-old Frau. Wow, that Frau. Take a bow.
Take a bow. Take a bow. Okay. Wow. That was good. That was good. Okay. Tupperware. Wow, it's been a while since I heard about Tupperware. Good. And turning 40 can be sexy, I must say about myself the day it happened to me. Anyway, okay, well, thank you for being gracious that you read a long poem and used your presence to just read one piece. That was nice. particularly since we're going to go through 13 or 14 poets. So thank you, Laura. Okay, and all right. So next on my list is Pablo. Hello, Pablo. We are now going to go to the Northern District of Virginia. No, we're going to Atlanta, ATL, from a poet originally from Guyana, from colonial British Guyana. And we'll find out if he speaks any of the dialect in tonight's poems. So welcome back, Pablo. Hi.
Oh, my friends, thank you very much for having me. I've got my djembe drum here. Can you hear me clearly?
Let's hear it again.
Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly. Yes, yes.
Okay, good, good. All right. So this piece is titled From Ndongo to Brooklyn. And I will do it in Creolese, which is Guyanese Creole.
Mm-hmm.
From Ndongo to Brooklyn. I pick up my life and I put it on one plane to Brooklyn. I pick up my life from one small town down by the river where coffee once reigned. I pack my scars and my dreams and my childhood memories into the brain drain. I put them all on one plane to Brooklyn. I take my grades and my muscle and my Guyanese hustle, and I gave them all to one white man named Sam. Sam owned the plane. Sam owned the game. And so one pawn me became again, chasing apple, windmill, and bull down prosperity lane. This time for $1 or $2 after taxes. If only I been use my brain back in Ndongo. If only me been change the game back in Ndongo. If only me been put them chain from Sam back in Ndongo and send Sam back to Spain. If only. Ayo. So that was from Ndongo to Brooklyn.
Okay. Where is that Ndongo? Is that in Guyana?
No, Ndongo is a kingdom in West Africa.
Okay. All right.
So I'm really tapping into my heritage, being the descendant of enslaved people who were captured in West Africa and brought to Guyana, and then from Guyana I came to Brooklyn. So it's kind of a satirical and didactic piece that taps into those levels of inspiration.
Very good. Number 2, Pablo.
Number 2 is titled 1971. This is an ode to the Vietnam vets who served valiantly in that war. 1971 is the title. Miles before we became men, full blown, we crunched nails for lunch, lead for dinner, heartburn for life. After the dance came shock therapy and dreams interrupted, incomplete, like pages ripped from the manuscript of me, slicing apple pies under the white picket fence, while babies chase bubbles over the lawn. Green like Malvo's Encanto, pages torn, discarded, unpublished, and the author is dead. Ayo, number 2.
Okay.
1971.
Ayo.
Ayo. Ayo means joy in Yoruba. So I like to end each poem with Ayo, which is a celebration that I have completed this project. It started in my head and is now on social media. Ayo. The final piece is titled Trail of Tears, which speaks to the discussion we had with Manny and my experience being in Poland and visiting Auschwitz back in the 80s. So, Trail of Tears. I cry a trail of tears from the coast of Ivory, land of Mandingo and Ashanti, where ships swollen with betrayal sailed and sailed and sailed over pierced cannons and civil creeds, feeding colored limbs to circling sharks when they could row no more. I cry a trail of tears through the haunted hills of Mississippi, land of Choctaw and Cherokee, where wagons loaded with betrayal on tireless wheels rolled and rolled and rolled over signed statutes and sealed deals, crushing colored spirits till they could fight no more. I cry a trail of tears, 'cause the parched walls of Auschwitz, crypt of Sephardi and Ashkenazi, where ovens stoked with betrayal, burned and burned and burned through hair and flesh and bone, scorching a million souls till they could scream no more. This pogrom trail of tears, I cry. Ayo. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the homage and the interconnection between two peoples.
Absolutely.
Yeah, who suffered that experience. Okay, three's a charm, Pablo.
That was number 3. Was that?
Was that number 3 already?
Yeah, that was number 3.
Wow. Okay. All right. I was locked in. All right. Of course, I never counted well in the first place. That's why I took up poetry. You know what I mean? Instead of mathematics. Okay. Thanks a lot, Pablo. Now, next on the list, we're going to go from ATL, Atlanta, to the other side of the North American continent. We're going to San Francisco, and we're going to bring on Dharma Dave. And we want to say that he's been a steady participant here with Angora for the last, 2 years? I don't know what we're on now again. And he's also the co-editor of Inner Revolutions Anthology, which he and Muriel in Harlem, the other editor, have invited you all to submit to. Dharma Dave, you're on.
We have a new slogan as of today also, which is, we're number 2, we try harder.
Okay.
I'll say Goose Gott, everyone.
What's Goose Gott?
That means God is good, and in the Catholic German world, it's a polite greeting.
Okay. All right.
I was inspired to say that from Laura's poem. So I'm going to do 3 poems, a set. 2 of them are covers with one of mine sandwiched in between. And I'm hoping that this will take you deep into the left coast. That's my goal. And so the first one is by Tom Waits. This is Hang On, St. Christopher. Hang on, St. Christopher, through the smoke and the oil. Buckle down the rumble seat. Let the radiator boil. Got an overhead downshift and a $2 grill. Got an 85 cabin on an 85 hill. Hang on, St. Christopher, on the passenger side. Open it up tonight, the devil can ride. Hang on, St. Christopher, with a barrel house dog. Kick me up Mount Baldy, throw me out in the fog. Take a hole in the jackpot, drive a stake through his heart. Do 100 on the grapevine, do a jump on the start. Hang on, St. Christopher, now, don't let me go. Get me to Reno and bring it in low, yeah. Hang on, St. Christopher, with the hammer to the floor. Put a high ball in the crankcase, nail a crow to the door. Get a bottle for the jockey, give me a 294. There's a 750 Norton busting down January's door. Hang on, St. Christopher, on the passenger side. Open it up, at night the devil can ride. Hang on, St. Christopher, now don't let me go. Get me to Reno, got to bring it in low. Put my baby on the flat car, got to burn down the caboose. Get them all jacked up on whiskey, then we'll turn the mad dog loose. Hang on, St. Christopher, on the passenger side. Open it up, tonight the devil can ride. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, Tom Waits. Now,
yeah.
For those of you who are too young, therefore blessedly too young to know, Saint Christopher was this. I don't even know his origin, but he was the protecting saint of drivers. So when I was a kid, Catholics used to glue the Saint Christopher model, ceramic doll or whatever it was, a St. Christopher, on their dashboard, because in those days the dashboard was much larger and had a flat top. So they would glue a St. Christopher on top of that for protection. And sometimes they'd get a St. Christopher whose head would bobble up and down as the car moved. So that's the legacy of St. Christopher. All right, number 2, David.
Okay, and this one is mine. This is Off the Bus in Berkeley. Off the bus in Berkeley with Radagast and Aragorn. But is it really Berkeley? Because there are all these neat and tidy Walt Disney gardens lining Telegraph Avenue. We walk up a short, broad flight of stairs, atop which is a beer and coffee parlor. I look around. Off to my left, I see a table at which sits Quincy and Monique and the lovely Blossom. To my right sit 5 gray-lined, fur-headed, rag-encrusted, scum-festered freaks who gobble and grin at each other. Radagast shouts out in alarm as someone shoves me from behind, and I fall forward to sprawl upon the table before those 5 fiends who yodel and yap at me. Then the largest and grayest grabs me by the throat and shouts, breathing into my face, "Give me money for food." "Don't blame me," I yell. "Blame Hunter Thompson." He lets go and I tumble back down the stairs as Radagast and Aragorn run off down the street. Quincy and Monique stay silent and the lovely blossom sighs. I get up and dust myself off and slowly start to walk away, look back half a block later and see 3 peace officers mounting the stairs to investigate the commotion. I begin to hurry away, suddenly remembering the 900,000 hits of Dr. Troll's rapid aging process in my pocket, but I keep tripping and falling over and having to pull myself up again until I finally find a BART tunnel and sit in a train riding back and forth and talking to a young lady who has a bicycle, and she listens to my woe, is sympathetic and understands.
Well, all right. Okay.
At least the story has a good ending, right?
Yeah, it does. It does, Dharma. All right. So let's hear it. Who do you have up for number 3 as a charm?
3 is a charm, and we're going to hear Allen Ginsberg.
Whoa.
A supermarket in California. What thoughts I have of you tonight, Walt Whitman, for I walked down the side streets under the trees with a headache, self-conscious, looking at the full moon. In my hungry fatigue and shopping for images, I went into the neon fruit supermarket, dreaming of your enumerations. What peaches and what penumbras, whole families shopping at night, aisles full of husbands, wives in the avocados, babies in the tomatoes. And you, Garcia Lorca, what were you doing down by the watermelons? I saw you, Walt Whitman, childless, lonely old grubber, poking among the meats in the refrigerator and eyeing the grocery boys. I heard you asking questions of each. Who killed the pork chops? What price bananas? Are you my angel? I wandered in and out of the brilliant stacks of cans following you and followed in my imagination by the store detective. We strode down the open corridors together in our solitary fancy, tasting artichokes, possessing every frozen delicacy, and never passing the cashier. Where are we going, Walt Whitman? The doors close in an hour. Which way does your beard point tonight? I touch your book and dream of our odyssey in the supermarket and feel absurd. Will we walk all night through solitary streets? The trees add shade to shade, lights out in the houses. We'll both be lonely. Will we stroll dreaming of the lost America of love, past blue automobiles and driveways, home to our solitary cottage? Ah, dear Father Graybeard, lonely old courage teacher, what America did you have when Sharon quit pulling his ferry and you got out on a smoking bank and stood watching the boat disappear on the black waters of Leyte?
Okay, wow. Next time I go into Safeway, I'll have to remember that one. I once read a poem by Allen Ginsberg in 11th grade English class. It's a poem where he's in the supermarket, and I forget the name of it, but he says something like basically, fuck it all, man. And my English teacher in my class thought that I was just outrageous for reciting that line by Ginsberg. Because
you were, though. You were. You broke all protocols saying that.
Why not? Okay, Dharma, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Okay. So next we have, we're going to come across the waters here to Paris, and we're going to present Carolina Caroline from right here in Paris. Hello, Carolina Caroline.
This is a microphone. It's very small, tiny one. Deep, 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 deep. Let's find the poems. Maybe I'll begin with the Margaret Atwood's ones, because it's quite trash. It's a hard one. And after, I will read the tender ones. Very short. The first one is quite long. It's called Euridis, as Euridis and Orpheus. He's here, come down to look for you. It is the song that calls you back, a song of joy and suffering, a promise that things will be different up there than they were last time. You would rather have gone on feeling nothing, emptiness and silence, the stagnant peace of the deepest sea, which is easier than the noise of flesh and of the surface. You are used to these blanched dim corridors. You are used to the king who passes you without speaking. The other one is different, and you almost remember him. He says he's singing to you because he loves you, not as you are now, so chilled and minimal, moving and still both like a white curtain blowing in the draft form, a half-opened window beside a chair on which nobody sits. He wants you to be what he calls real. He wants you to stop light. He wants to feel himself thickening like a tree trunk or a hunch, and see blood on his eyelids when he closes them and the sun beating. This love of his is not something he can do if you aren't there, but what you knew suddenly as you left your body, cooling and whitening on the lawn. What that you love him anywhere, even in this land of no memory, even in this domain of hunger. You hold love in your hand, a red seed you had forgotten you were holding. He has come almost too far. He cannot believe without seeing, and it's dark here, Go back, you whisper. But he wants to be fed again by you. Oh, handful of gauze, little bandage, handful of cold air. It is not through him you will get your freedom.
Okay. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Margaret Atwood. Number 2, please.
Number 2 will be this one. I already read it several times, but I like this one. Sensorial topography. Beyond his t-shirt, I decrypt the outcrops of flesh, muscles, joints, bones and tendons, the carriers of sight, picking up the topography of his body. If I close my eyes to my fingertips, I can feel the skin texture of his face, his lips curved, the warmth of his hands and mine.
Whoa. Okay. No question about it. Well, there we go, turning the heat up again, people. All right. Okay, so Carolina Caroline, number 3 is a charm.
Number 3, it's another love poem. It's in English also. Translation: I take the time to love you. Like a galloping horse head, wearing blinders to prevent them to fill the space around them. But the road has no ending. It opens out into a ravine. Why? Why running when they can graze peacefully, savoring the tender grass? Why running like that? Because the men in grey told them to. There is no time to lose. Love is an emergency. Life is an emergency. Emergency, emergency. But why? Why run when you can take the time? Why? Saving what time? The one we need to rest from the run we just had? I'm not one of those ones. I prefer walking at my own rhythm, and by night from my bed, listen to the song of the night, the stars' song, time's song, dancing in the winds of age, alone sometimes, always in music. I'm dancing in my rhythm and I love it. And I take time. I take the time to feel life inside me, around me. I take the time for love also. The time for love. So it would be necessary to take it. I thought that was what I was born for. It would be an occupation, a cherry on the top of a bit of cake. No, it's something else. I wanted this kind of bread. Love is something different. It shares its beat with my heart. This is what takes my words away when I see you. This is the silence's sudden roar of pleasure. Just thinking about feeling your presence here. Love is what makes the trees grow. Love is life. Life is love. How can I take the time to be who I am? What this world where such an evidence becomes a luxury, a precious thing we rediscover luckily, as if it were a hidden treasure forgotten for a long time. I'm a jewel. You're a jewel. Laid in nature's jewels, the most beautiful. Because I love you. All that and much more because life is so beautiful.
Bravo, bravo. Okay, applause-mita. Okay. If I could add, please, that there was this interview some years ago with people on their deathbeds. It was conducted by a nurse to dying patients. And she asked them, in review of your life, what would you say today? And the overwhelming response was, I wished I had taken more time. They recorded, I spent so much time at work and so much time at my career. I wish I would have taken more time for my loved ones. And that was an overwhelming response from people, you know, that their last conversation before passing on. So you hit the nail on the head, Caroline. Thank you. And I call her Carolina Caroline because she reads excellently also from her Spanish side, as well as English.
At the second round.
Okay, second round. Segundo, está bien. Okay, thank you, Caroline. And now we're going to stay in Paris, and we're going to go to another bilingual poet, and she is Claire Andriani. Hello, Claire.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure
Hi,
to be
Claire.
here. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So I have one first poem called The Dog. I wrote one in French and one in English. And, it's about this master who was with his dog, and he seemed completely depressed, but at the same time, the dog seemed to be a reason for him to keep leaving. So I wrote about this. He advances step by step, slowly hoping for a tomorrow. He waits for his old master, limping a few feet behind. He's leading him to future, doesn't look back, he follows. His limbs are overused, sore, and yet he walks because life is guiding him. An intuition, something pushing him to continue no matter what the odds are. He looks worn out, tired of his master's existence, holding him like a wife, to the next day, to the next step, hoping for the best, surviving. They both walk on this rainy day on the wet pavement that seems to have pity for them both. Yet, it's carrying them, always present, never failing to be there. Earth, what they walk on, seems to accept this unbearable fate. It even supports it, believing in love. Any love is worth living, is worth breathing for, is worth walking to the next house, to the next thought, towards the end, when one of them will die and make the other realize how life is worth living.
Wow. There's a lesson there. Thank you. Wow. Very nice. Is that a recent poem, Claire?
Yes.
All right. Claire likes to do caricatures in poetry as she goes along through the Paris streets in her Paris days. So number 2, Claire, please.
Thank you. Let me see. This one is called The Jazz Bar, and it's about me sitting in a cafe where there was jazz music playing. It was so relaxing, so beautiful, and I felt so relaxed that I had to write something about it. The Jazz Bar. A mellow music plays in the background. The sunlight enters the room surreptitiously, and an old woman smiles while eating her dessert. The gray-haired man on my left is meditating over his cup of coffee, whose smoke seems to betray his thoughts. Ta-dam, ta-dam, ta-dam. The saxophone goes on as if no one was in the room. I can picture its player smiling inwardly, holding his instruments like a woman, playing its keys with passion and tenderness. Soft, understanding, he plays for the lonely thinker or the newspaper reader, the dreamer at the corner of the room, imagining a life of excitement with no obstacles, an existence similar to a long swim in a warm lake where nobody could see him. There would be food, drinks, and his best friends around him, greeting each other, laughing in the imperturbable sun blinking at them. His old mum would be sitting on the grass playing with his grandchildren, laughing, and the trees would be so high one could not see the top of them. Shadows on the ground would invite them to nap, enveloped in a warm jumper after getting out from the lake. Lemonade would wait for each of them near their towels, and birds would sing their joyful songs in the same key, in harmony. A teenager dreams of her ideal boyfriend with long brown hair, blue eyes, and a mustache. She loved face hair. It made men look more manly, more desirable, as if they knew where they were going. It was a sign of maturity. It was comforting to her who hadn't had a male figure in her entire life. A little girl plays with her doll and sees it making all sorts of moves, jumps, and bows like contemporary dance. Her little green eyes are squinting, and she looks through the window, absent-mindedly, while her mother speaks gently to her husband on the phone. Everything looks so peaceful and harmonious. Sir? The young man hears a far-away voice and suddenly wakes up from his half-dream. A slender busboy is standing in front of him. Would you like a cup of coffee, sir? And in a second, back to reality. Just a few words, and he was back. Oh, language, he thought, how it can spoil everything.
Okay, Claire. All right. Okay, Claire. Number 3, please. 3 is a charm.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a French one that I already read, but that I like.
Give us a brief explanation.
Oh, it's so hard to do that. Mo, you're asking too much. No. I'm gonna try. It's all about feelings. It's all about how one can feel lost in his path in life, and at the same time, how this sadness or melancholy can be pleasant.
Okay. On y va.
C'est parti. It's called Symphonie balafrée. Le son de la cloche transperce mon visage, inouï. Il porte les marques d'une torpeur enfouie dans les sables mouvants de mon cœur. Tout se déplace lentement comme un sac d'eau transporté par la mort. Je bois l'eau d'une rivière noire de secrets, évangélique. La foi me porte prosaïque comme un ancien chant des mœurs. Ma personne tout entière coule dans des flots d'ignorance. Mes jambes se battent contre la lenteur d'une splendeur macabre, suivant les pas acharnés d'une lueur si belle, si profonde, qu'on y croirait, qu'on y croirait. Le chant mélodieux de la mort m'accompagne dans des ténèbres aisées, là où les mâles et femelles ne font plus qu'un. Dans l'hypocrisie des alentours, je rôde comme un chien, sans laisse, sans loi. Je respire l'univers tel que je le vois, sombre et haut comme des tours, tours d'illusions perdues, là où la réalité croise l'enchantement, la voie lactée, là où les sirènes chantent sans remords le retour aux contes de fées qui noircissent ton visage plein de beauté. La vie est lourde sous les nuages du passé. Elle pèse des tonnes de terreur et de culpabilité. Les familles en proie à leurs secrets chuchotent des faits aux troubadours qui romancent le bruit de la réalité. Ils s'en vont comme des terres alambiquées sous la noirceur du nouveau jour et marchent vers de nouvelles cités. Utopie? Réalité changée? Qui sait? Écoute les voix des troubadours, ces chants sacrés aux lueurs pâles du jour. Symphonie balafrée.
Ah, merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Well, quelle complexité de sensibilité. Merci pour le poème, Claire.
Thank you.
Ça, c'est bien. Okay, thank you, Claire. And we're going to go back to New York, and we're going to call on Lydia. Hello, Lydia.
Oh, okay. Hi, peace and blessings. How's everyone doing?
We're good, Lydia. Can't see you tonight.
No, you know what it is. You can't see me tonight? Okay. Oh.
I mean, we could if you wanted to come on screen.
I thought I was on screen. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe I pushed the video.
You're at the Strand Avenue train stop.
Oh yeah, Nostrand, Brooklyn, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready.
We're ready.
Okay, good. This one is called Call Me. Call me by her name, Atlanta Lockhart. And what say who I be? Call me anything that belongs to them, my family tree, Anola, Annabelle, Emma. But remember to just call me. Call me by my slave name, given name from ancestors born to spirituals, rolling rituals out Alabama swamps, deep boondocks, passing water, run off into the Carolinas. I be off reservations through generations of miscegenation, raped and ripped out of ancient wounds open, still unhealed womb, tortured womb, stood to travel into this child, woman of this blood of all sides, born out of tribes with troubled alcoholics, hot-tempered from homemade firewater, years desensitized, so peer into these eyes, your witness battles waiting to be born, eyes that testify to prophecies, and hers the Holy Quran, and eyes is the Bible according to our story. It be I who run from all sides of the Gullah Island. I gather myself relentless with an abundance of rich soil beneath my feet. Thy earth and I urge to hide inside temples, mortals, live forever a stranger to thyself, born out of the spirit womb of storytellers and soothsayers and slaves, blood positive to both Cherokee and Blackfoot, rebels and lovers and kin to sin and a friend to none. I be the one chosen to trace roots, crawling along the Blue Ridge Mountains and falling out of the Crow Woods of Lynchburg, Confederate cry. Be I of Annabelle and Enola and strange tag Hardelia, and sister mother to some man's woman, but never a wife. I be a lover, a renegade, a teacher, a palm reader, and a truth seeker. I be the amulet keeper, the blood war, blood inherent Narragansett of Comanche Indian tribes. I be of all sides, deep roots along the other parts of the earth, of Nigeria, the Congo, the Cameroon, Senegal, and Southern Europe, all parts, all over this earth. Just call me Atlanta Lockhart Jolly, that who I be.
All right. Wow. Call you representative of generations. Thank you, Lydia. Number 2, please.
Okay. I think I read this before, I'm not sure.
Mm.
You will always be my number one soul, my number one soul brother. I mean, you be the hardest wraparound brother, the spirit constitution of revolution raging through me, brother. One of Garvey's mighty people type of brother. And I always love the thunder and the furrowed brow over your forehead. The birth of a baby spade made your jacket to telegraph to the world. Your mental knowledge of who you are, the soldier of his story, fresh, direct, and shoulders erect. Your fade laid the parted part on your head of a 5%er, a straight line to tell who you were, dedicated to our community, the UNITY, and God bless the I, the star, and the crown, and the last alphabet, X. The bitter Bronx inspiring a poetess to test and intellectually joust, sometimes boast about the best in politics, from politics to hip hop. It was all down by law, helping to get our minds together. You know, we needed it straight. Weather any storm, we weathered any storm. Our forces of nature strong. Our fusion caused combustion, and 2 bump heads a court room battle. You hammered your armor and deflect disrespect. The you determined the flight and fight out of the system, out of Babylon. And soul brother, you are a New Jerusalem. You are here with full respect.
Okay. All right. Thank you. It's nice to see the female sex and gender talking so positively to her brother male sex and gender. And I say that because it becomes so fashionable today, you know, that when you mention the male, you should mention it in a derogatory manner. Not all cultures are dumping on the males, white people. Okay, freeze a charm, Lydia.
Okay. I don't know why I put number 3. Look, I had everything laid out, but my phone was causing so much trouble today. So the only one I have is the one because I was reflecting earlier today with, I was reading an article, Charles Barron talked about why he did not want to vote for our city councilwoman here in New York after Eric Adams was put in as mayor. And he said something, because Charles Barron is from Brooklyn, and he said, I don't want to continue the same reigns as before. Even though we have a Black face representing, I do not want to continue and uphold someone who still is part of the system, so to speak. So anyway, this is it. I'll read this one. It says, I'm a cooker pressure, and I'm ready to explode, and I'm on overload. Living in a society where after 400 years, we are still, did Mitch McConnell said Black in America? Or did he say African Americans? I don't know what he said, but he made us seem like we were still political refugees and raised up by racism in a country called America, where there is just no true democracy. So the fleecing of our pockets to feed capitalism and pressure, knowing we will never get the proper respect that is due to us, meaning being free, forced into quiet position and handcuffed under police restriction. You have the right to always shut your fucking mouth and remain silent. Spend half our lives in supermax prisons. Pressure is knowing our ancestors toiled and brown souls was boiling in the sun, blistering Carolinas under the whip, under the gun. I, Black child of Jah, rising up in the stormy eye of adversity, under pressure to assimilate, holding true to my gang colors. They're not the red, white, and blue. They're the red, black, and green. Living a revolutionary dream and still surviving the chase into the alleyways of life, beaten against the walls of injustice and prejudice, choked and dragged into misery called poverty and everything else. So I will not succumb to the pressure.
Okay, all right, and good for him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. He did speak up. Yeah.
Yeah. I get you. Wow, so many people in the name. Yeah. I'm from a certain group or language or skin color, and automatically you should vote for me.
Yes.
Wow, that's a get rich scheme. In America, that's a get rich scheme. You know, it includes some women too as well. You know, I'll go through the glass ceiling if you make me a mega millionaire. Okay, and that should advance all women as I stay rich and your spending power declines over time. So I get you. Okay, so was that three's a charm or what was that one? Number two, and that was number three, right?
That was three.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And now we have a newcomer on board. Now this guy's name is Lawrence Mayfield. Lawrence, where are you in the world and how did you get to Angora?
Texas.
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
I'm from Texas. I'm a friend of Lydia's. We have collaborated and been a part of each other's poetic lives for quite some time now.
Okay, well, that's a good recommendation that you're a friend from Lydia. So a friend of Lydia, from Lydia, and we're in Texas. It's a big state, brother.
I'm out towards that area, west of Dallas and Fort Worth.
Uh-huh.
And it's just a small town, and it's
okay. That area that stretches 1,000 miles. I drove it once.
Yeah, it's pretty vast out here. So
okay, so as you might have been hearing, we've been asking people to contribute 3 poems in this first round, so long as none of them are as long as the Gettysburg Address.
Okay. I'll try not to overextend. This first poem There are some people nestled within this poem. If you listen for Walt Whitman and William Carlos Williams and Denise Levertov, and listen to Kerouac and Ginsberg, listen for Coltrane, Miles Davis, Bird Parker, Thelonious Monk, and Pharaoh Sanders. Listen for Bob Dylan and Gil Scott-Heron. Listen to the words and the music. This was called Link of a Breath.
Denise Levertov. I'm glad you mentioned Denise Levertov, who doesn't get mentioned enough in the beat generation.
Yeah. So if you
I interviewed her.
Oh, you did?
I interviewed her once for public radio, and she was just so unassuming and so nice. And for a beat poet, she sure did laugh a lot, which I found very, very nice. She had a great sense of humor.
I've got several of her publications.
Okay, so number 2, was that a poem or was a reference?
No, I was introducing number 1. I'm sorry. This was called Link of a Breath.
That's a hell of a guest list. Carry on.
Silence may be unseen, dangling from within a whine that gasps for air. A howl swaying to and fro in the balmy breeze as gentleness dies down between a tick and a tock. Calm, unstirred, more supple than hardening, callously standing, straightly silent. Whereas leaves of grass once waved, bent singing in search of a willowy wisp with which you breathe a whisper by my side, mimicking the slumbered motion of a pendulum hanging from that giant winding beanstalk, getting off on a nowhere road, not knowing jack about this or that. Window open, basement booms, oscillating rewind from across the room. Blades blowing continuous melodic murmur. A percussing trash can lid clambers down the alley, intermittently interrupting a creaking hinge and lingering shutters of a door tapping double backbeat to the intoxicating bump of a derailed train of thought. Spontaneous sax, bebop, toe-to-toe stomp, bottom out, bird blue. Talking to miles of trumpet, muted horns, huffy modal clusters, clinging to a monk-cloaked, finger-clawed, black and white crescendo, while inhaling phantom pharaohs, hot-puffing smoke in a crowded cough cafe. Intangibles, undefined pieces of a man, I say pieces of a man freely drifting off. Invisible dissonant riffs awaken from a swim in wound, the secret of breathing the water. Currents effervesce to emerge, a fluttering heron levitates. Diminished drafts draw a breath, picturesque, gusts thrust back and forth. The screen door unlatched, slamming, jamming. Who is there? Unison, tenor coiling, tangled by two per se. The old turntable spins round midnight voicings, chimes of freedom blowing in the wind, audibly dissipated beyond metered, muttered cadence of a raspy lunged wheeze. The length of a breath unveils the other side of the wind.
Whoa. Wow, that was a good poetry survey of some references to some great people. Okay, you're off to a good start, Lawrence. Please go with number 2.
Okay, let's see here. From a desert of paper. From a book's binding, spine and cover protecting other worlds of inspiration generated from inside the writer's mind. From a paper's edge, thinness too small to detect from afar. Page after page stacked atop each other. An interesting sound when thumbs to the ear and flutters of air, how it fans the face. From horizon suggestion of infinity, beyond, in between, sunset to sunrise. Lines of lengthy rays, an unfolding of compositions, pushing limits aside. Getting lost in a word discovery, from a pencil pushing of graphite and wood, sharpened to a point, hold in hand, scribbles that dribble, words filling a void, stacked rows of unraveling. From the sediment of words, seeding and scripting, an intertwine of space and line, floating down an arroyo filled to the brim, a gully wash of salted flats, and dust devils dancing across the desert, dotted with grains of sand brailing the surface, settling onto a desert of paper, forming an oasis of images and ideas and beauty.
Okay. Wow. That was as expansive as West Texas. Shit. All right, partner. Number three's a charm. Number three's a charm, Lawrence.
Okay. I'll introduce someone and say one time my ex-wife and I were riding down the road, and through the windshield we saw this falling star, and it just kept on falling, kept on falling, kept on falling, until I finally pointed and said, "Look at that," and it still kept on falling. This one is called Of a Star. Some say they shoot, others say they fall, but if not for that star, there would be nothing to tell at all. Whether it fell on this earth, or sowed as a seed, or scattered with bodies celestial, to where we know not need. Searching for poetic inscribe, classic poets come to mind, of William Blake, whose luminary visions prophesied reference to when the stars threw down their spears, tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. And Robert Frost, who surely would have noted natural beauty that surround these roads of choice, and the blazing path that star could have taken. Would Emily Dickinson have kept this a secret, transcendental observance, recluse until bypassing? Could she have seen the sky as a garden of stars, one of which she strode, dressed in white linen? Along that spear Blake threw down, along that road Frost less taken, along her own path that would not stop for death. Was there ever another star such as this, to witness stretching afar into fathoms abyss? Big and bright, into the night, a poetic flight but brief, a moment of silent bliss.
All right. Congratulations that you captured that falling star. That sounds sincerely awesome, man.
This is an awesome group, by the way. This is my first time and really enjoying it.
Well, thank you, and we welcome you. You seem to be a poet of the craft, so welcome to Angora. Let's everybody say hello and welcome to Lawrence. Welcome, Lawrence.
Welcome, welcome.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, it's my turn now, and I decided at the last minute, based on what you've inspired me through the readings tonight. And here's the first poem that I wrote. This is a poem that combines the language of Cesare Pavese, the great Italian poet, Cesare Pavese, and me. So I frankly acknowledge that I mixed half this poem with my language with half the poem of his. Okay, so I've got no qualms about acknowledging it in advance. And it's called Rain Will Fall. Rain will fall into the cracks of your crooked sidewalk. A light rain, like a breath or a faint step you take. Rain like truth will fall everywhere around you. After the onyx night, the dawn will raise you with stubborn lovers and lost songbirds. There will be other days, other voices to fill your head, bold and new, soon to grow old and leave, like a costume left over from last night's party. My voice absent, but for the hum of jazz chord minors in G. You will make gestures to invite, answer them in words well worn, in the face of darkness and wordless pain. You will try not to retreat from fire and truth, confronting that which eludes you always, holding fast to a fearful silence, disguising your face, your voice, your true intentions, hoping some creature in your sunken universe stops by in your dream to say, I will hold you. That's my
All right, Mo. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and this Southern Blue is a commemoration. Since we're talking about speaking of elders and generations, people have gone.
A little bit back from the mic, please, Mo.
No, well, I am back from the mic.
Now you're good.
Okay, okay. So speaking of remembering people that have passed on in homage, this is a poem I wrote in the summer when we here in Paris lost a very charming, loving, elderly woman who we used to get together with named Sophie Duchamp. And the idea was we had a social group and she was just so charming. So she passed away at the age of 81. And this is called, I wrote this and it was read at her funeral. It's called Remember Me. Speak of me as you've always done, our good times and bad. I at my best when times were down, when you came to greet me and I was around, now beyond. It's not over. I'm with you in warm spring sun, in the bloom of a rose and a bird song sung. Hear my laughter, sometimes pain, my smile upon you, all the same. I'm a voice on a gentle breeze when down and out, seeking grace. Our bond is binding, loosely worn when you're in need. I'm at peace. Please be you at ease. My eyes closed in this earthly sleep. We know this life, all must change, but I am here to call my name and allow your sorrow but a brief while and laugh with me, always smile. I live lonely, grateful turn, be glad for me, don't lonely yearn. Remember me in sun and rain, in light and darkness, in joy and pain. I am here, I will remain. Just call me, call my name. My name is Sylvia.
Thank you, Mo.
And then lastly, because it snowed a lot and it was so cold on the east coast of the U.S. and winter cold here in Paris. So, home for you. Let me find it a second. Sorry, it's slipped out of my hands there. All right. Oh, here it is. Okay. And I wrote it to a woman I was very much in love with when I was a very young man. And she inspired me to write this about her. And I ran into her a couple of years ago. I ran into her a couple of years ago, and it was a nice reunion. Her name is Liana, and she's from Pittsburgh. And this is called Valentine's Origo. From below, I watch you standing atop the knob of the snow-powdered hill as a full moon descends, slowly rolling its round weight, pulling the sky, it drapes your shoulders. No silhouette pressed smooth into opaque motif, outlines, slight curves, and small turns, all delicate, all found, all found. I am hushed before the celestial mystery of terror. I watch as stars blue to white gently tumble through the black, tipping end over end and rest, a winter's breath away from you. You wear nocturne's pearls as your own dangling ornamental jewelry that chime as they catch the rush of the wind song. In ancient arrangement, you have eclipsed Luna. Blue to white light flows like lava bath. I dare note that held about you, it pales by comparison. You are the visceral center of my universe. Okay. So that one was to Liana. All right, so we've gone through 14 poets in this first round, and this has been one heck of a good round, many different voices in the languages. So we're gonna take a very brief break and come on with the second round, where you are invited to render 2 pieces. So let's take a really quick break, like 2 minutes. Prepare the 2 pieces you'd like to read, and I'll call you as close as we are still on screen as the original order. Okay, so let me see. Anyway, yeah, the original order is Leticia, who had to go to a meeting. Patricia had to go to another poetry reading. So we will begin the second round with Manny, followed by Ermira, followed by Benedicta, followed by Genie, followed by Bill, followed by Laura, followed by Pablo, Dharma Dave, Carolina Caroline, Claire, and Lydia. Wow, so we have a nice lineup. So give us about 2 minutes. Sorry?
I'd like to have that on my baseball team, that lineup.
All right, so give yourselves 2 minutes to say hi or compliment each other, whatever you'd like to do, and we'll come on rather quickly to get through the nice anticipated second round.
Hello, Bill. Hello, Dave. Hello, everyone. Jeannie.
Hi.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi.
I like
good
that Nostrand Avenue.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a famous sign there.
I lived on Nostrand Avenue until I was 10.
Oh, okay, okay.
Church Street was the.
On Church Street, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived off of Fulton down on Halsey, but it wasn't too much nice of a neighborhood at that time. But anyway, yeah.
Well, when I was there, it was German and Jewish and Irish.
Mm-hmm. That was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like the part where it was Jewish, because on Jewish holidays there were like 3 of us in my class in school, and we ate a lot of candy.
Oh goodness. So were you privy to going to school before at Boy and Girls High, or no, that wasn't there when you were there?
No, well, my father went to Erasmus.
Erasmus, okay.
But I left when I was 10. I went to PS 181.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brooklyn has changed. So you probably remember the theater before they changed it on Fulton Street. They changed it to Slave, but before Slave, it was another name. It was an old theater that was on Fulton, right off of Nostrand and yeah, right on Fulton Street.
Well, Fulton's a ways from Church Street, isn't it? From this.
Yeah, it is.
I left when I was 10. What I remember is all afternoon at the movies for a nickel.
Wow.
2 features, yeah, a double feature, a newsreel at the beginning, a short, and my mother would give me enough money so that I could buy a chunky bar.
Well, that's the memory.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah, I was back. Well, it was.
Did you ever get to see the Brooklyn Dodgers play when they were in Brooklyn?
Yes.
You did?
With my school, the whole class went.
Wow.
But I liked Willie Mays, so I got in fist fights.
Uh-oh.
I had a comic book about Willie Mays, and I thought that his story was real great, so I thought he was great. But there were
Right.
things that I didn't know back then, you know?
Okay. Are we ready to
Away
go
for
on with the-
baseball season to start again.
Baseball season, yeah.
It's still hibernating.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Okay.
that game that I saw, Duke Snyder was playing for Brooklyn, Pee Wee Reese, all of those guys.
Yeah. So I guess you didn't document the times. Did you take any pictures of old Brooklyn when you were living there? I mean, you were a youngster, but
When I was 10, you know.
I know.
And it was a long time ago. My father had a camera. It was a contraption that folded out.
Yes.
You know.
I know those cameras. Yes.
Yeah, it was a contraption.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess film was expensive. I don't know. All that I have is family photos.
Family photos. Yes, that's still good.
Yeah.
Well, since you're talking baseball and photos, as a 9-year-old, I went to Forbes Field in Pittsburgh with what was it called? A Kodak Brownie camera. It was all metal with a little glass lens in it.
Oh.
And they took excellent pictures. Anyway, I got to take pictures of Roberto Clemente, the great one, Roberto Clemente, who rivaled Willie Mays. But because Roberto played for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who were mostly losers, and Willie played for the New York Giants, who were often winners, Roberto didn't get the national credit until after he died. So you might come across in New York and Chicago and other cities, Roberto Clemente High School. Okay. Yeah.
I remember when the San Francisco Giants came to New York to play the Mets, and what was it, Roberto Alou? Is that it? Roberto?
No,
There's three Alou brothers.
Yeah, but was it Roberto who was the big star?
No, it was Matty Alou and Jesus Alou.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Felipe.
And
Felipe.
the New York Times said when Willie Mays came out, the whole audience stood up, and Roberto Alou found out who was the real big star.
Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay. So anyway,
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cheesy on their part, you know.
You
not
still
on
got
yours.
3 months till baseball season rolls around again.
Right. Anyway, Roberto Clemente became legendary also to the Puerto Rican people of the island in the United States. And they took a lot of pride in finally
Wasn't he
having-
doing a relief effort for people and after some disaster when he was killed?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
he donated money to the Nicaraguan Disaster Fund when they had a terrible earthquake in the 70s, or like 1970, was it, or 71? And then there were rumors that the dictator of Nicaragua was pocketing the money. So he chartered a plane to go to Nicaragua to kind of look into the rumors. And that chartered plane went down before it reached Nicaragua, and he died in the sea.
So much for the rumors.
One thing about Roberto Clemente, on the last day of his last season, he reached exactly the 3,000 hit milestone.
Right.
And one more thing about the Pittsburgh Pirates. On September 1st, 1971, they were the first Major League Baseball team to start an all non-white team.
An all-black lineup. Yes. Okay. And we had the pitcher, Doc Ellis, who took a hit of acid because he thought he wasn't playing baseball that day and found out accidentally he was due to play baseball. So on a strong hit of acid, he threw a no-hitter. he threw a no-hitter on LSD.
That's a great baseball anecdote.
Yeah,
It goes
yeah,
down through the years as two all great baseball anecdotes.
yeah. He said, I dropped that acid thinking I had a day off, and the next thing I know, I was in uniform. But he was in the zone. He said there was nothing nervous about it. Somehow on acid, he was in the zone and threw a no-hitter. So there you go. Anyway, speaking of serious topics, let's begin the second round with our first-time participant. First time of us hearing in Hebrew as well, from Israel originally, New York and Paris, and that's Manny. So Manny, you're on.
Thank you. Always fascinating, the exotic talk of baseball for me. It's always like such a subject from a ritual planet away. So I'm gonna read something I'm sorry, but I just translated it from Hebrew, so I'm not sure how it'll work. But it's something I wrote in Tel Aviv in Hebrew. It's called Across the Street from a Cafe. A dog crosses the crosswalk, playing imperceptible games. Drools don't drip on the cracks. A boy crosses the crosswalk looking for love. The other side is shaded, but the first was covered in sun. Perspiration is more repulsive than darkness. Until nightfall, then the tables turn. That's the one.
Okay. Can you render that in Hebrew?
Yeah, I can read that in Hebrew. Wait, it's in the notebook. כלב חוצה מעבר חצייה ומשחק משחקים בלתי נראים, רק על הקווים של בהירות לחיים. נער חוצה מעבר חצייה כדי למצוא אהבה. בצד השני יש צל, אבל בראשון הייתה שמש, זיעה דוחה יותר מחשיכה. עד רדת ערב, אחר כך הכל מתהפך. That's the Hebrew.
Okay. All right. So, thank you.
And
now, number two, Manny. Number two for me.
Number two is called Bus Number One, and it's only written in English, so I won't have a Hebrew version for it. Also written in Tel Aviv. A bus driver asks gently, so as not to stir a sleeping soul, through his microphone, "Where are you getting off?" The passengers freeze. In Israel, hearing a voice that comes from the sky is a bad omen. We know we snuck in before our appointment. I'll ask again, "You with the stroller, where do you get off?" Kindly. I'll stop closer to the sidewalk. We sigh with the relief of a killer who's asked for his opinion on justice over the phone for an anonymous survey. I don't stop there. I stop where the poet's mother went to school. Mysterious ways. The mother sulks. Sarah's laughter turned upside down. Kindnesses are too easily forgotten. We resent God's weaknesses, like you resented me for crying and for not crying.
Kindnesses are too easily forgotten. Yeah, bad news carries longer than good. You're so right about that. Okay, thank you, poet. And thank you for rendering in your native language as well, as we always appreciate that. So next we're going to turn to the judge. We're going to go to Bill Strangmire. Bill, you're on. Well, you're muted, Bill.
Oh, this technology. God. Let's see. What do I read? Metro Rye. Into the car comes the little band, a subway ride to avoid the weather. She's got piled up hair of bronze red henna and a hint of a worry to help her sing through a Muzak-powered rhythm mic on a shopping cart stand. Her sallow-faced son, an accordion teen, stoops skinny and sullen at her back. The drummer speaks no Arabic, only Serb, a husky old crew cut and a stooge of 30. The woman's older but young and mature, and the ripple skinny music, all syrupy and damp, is thick and sinuous and blares as she turns like a fog light pointing here and there, So the Serb works the bottle and she works the crowd with vertical creases on her brow, managing the music as her son lies low and her charming snake voice winds all around and the metro slithers through the tunnels all gray and the French wave their eyes all around, and the riders wave their eyes all around.
That sounds like a bus ride. All right. Yeah. Okay. Next, Bill, number 2.
Okay. Okay. A quote from Cavafy. Have you grown pale out of the boredom of ascending to heaven and gazing earthward? The membrane painted on the air. I waited, but it didn't come, and all the while the melody was sung. There, there, we hear it all the time and never listen to the air. Our cargo cult has stilled the psalms. The birds now try but fail. The animals' contempt for us is bother to our arrogance. We cannot see. The morning star shines in a void, but sunset blinds our eyes. The mad now rule in antiseptic tortured bliss, while seers are considered mad. The sign of the whore's protector leads fools towards the sacrilege of war. An off-color star in corrupted sky stands out from the constellation of the leech. When did the grass command the tree should fall, the dust encrest the wind? All goodness flees a cowardly peril born of madmen's reveries. Oh, would that another race had won. The crows, the koalas, the raccoons are dogs. Instead, it is the rats that reincarnate, run the game, in prison or in politics, in public demagogy, or diversions set to hypnotize with vapid stories and tight formulas. The clouds are full of curses, insults drawn by spite, the imp that tempts the hurt and spoiled. Believers in the wheel's next turn, 7-come-11 destiny that's fated in the loser's dream. But others pull the covers up on guilty comforts hidden in their laps, if not behind the desk or steering wheel, and think of how the children they will sire in heaven will be babes, will never age, will be the most obedient, with no ideas but only those laid down. The music's still there, despite the blind deafness peddled to chumps by the vacuous shills, and the fatuous patriarchs and the hungry old princesses suck up the blood of the all. The pull towards the void holds so many in thrall to the darkness and the mourning, the cheer. Grief is the notion that sparks the happy jingle that fights for forgetfulness to fill up stark holes. But there is more, though ghouls would keep it in a cage or build a wall to keep it tame or lost. The love is not fierce there, is there. The love that is not fierce is there, is there. The set of mind is simple, but so hard to live.
All right.
So simple, but hard to live. All right.
Good.
That sounds common. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to swing, I guess, to the UK is where you're at this day, Laura. So, Laura, come back on.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, I have 2 shorter ones. This is called The Key. For God, no time exists. The Eucharist is not a commemoration. This is real time, now. But the last song of the organist fails. What is wrong with Gottfried? He has only now. Play, play for your life, which is crystallized into sand. Is the granite boulder rolling down the hill? Is the copper church steeple swinging round the building? Is the old farm women's hands pressed cold and coarse on the worm-eaten pew? Play, play for your wife, the school director who misleads children while smiling at the ski slope. Play, play for the winter linden rooting on the street, steepling limbs, bold and buckling to this town that burns trees for glass, lures monks to peril, sets criminals free to freeze in uninhabited Urwald. in the original salvage paradise of bears and lions and roses, while waiting for musical keys to pound their caves, while waiting for aging organists who crack into the yawning mouth of the Janus stone.
Ooh. Well, okay, Laura, thank you. All right.
Thank you. I've only sent that out once, and of course it was rejected.
Maybe the editor was religious.
I don't know.
Or an organ player.
Or an organ, yeah, the organist. Okay, the next one is a little more, no, it's a rhythmic piece, I guess. I do, you know, some of these I pat my thigh, or if I have a drum usually in front of this, but I don't like to do it so much on Zoom because people don't hear as well as in if I'm doing it live. I feel the fear of a day gone by. I feel the fear of a day gone by, gone by, gone by. Why does the cat eat his cousin nigh? Why does the man want his own demise? Why does the spouse like to seek and cheat? Why does the pot fry its own chilled meat? Why does the hat want to disappear? Why does the child feel the heat from peers? Why does the sun go when we do play? Why does the moon die in disarray? Why does the love like to meet today? Why does the hate like to have its way? Why does the day beat its friends away? Why does the night eat the dreams of day? I feel the heat of a day gone by. I feel the heat of a day gone by, gone by, gone by. I feel the fear of a day of lies.
Oh, wow. Why does the night, now here, how does he go? Why does the night eat the dreams of day? Is that what you say?
Yes.
Okay. Solid. Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now let's go to Pablo. Let's go to Atlanta and hear from Pablo, please. Hello, Pablo.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. I've got two short pieces. The first is titled Corroded Treasure, and it's about puppy love.
Oh.
When time, my treasured friend, and folly knew no end, then laughter pure did flow, raucous echoes from the soul. Woe whistled with the wind, claws never sinking in. Sin hovered in the dark, waging battles for the heart. Sparks of lust and love did fly, flashing doves white through the sky. Fledgling wings of feathered lies swept us both to frenzied highs. Cries of passion, miles of joy ran by every girl and boy, left us grasping breathless ear, pillows scattered here to dare appear, who knew such bliss as this would end with letters torn to bits and hits hiss like serpents seeking blood. Splattered dreams, broken chime. Oh, how the heart corrodes through time. Once my very treasured friend, now a folly come to end. Ayo. That was Corroded Treasure. And my final piece is titled Big City Love, and it's about Atlanta. I used to be a vendor. I would sell some of my art pieces in the city, and I would have a lot of time to kind of look around as the sun dipped below the horizon and nightlife began in the city. So, Big City Love. Many modes of beauty shape this scenic city into a vintage masterpiece. A montage of hues from blondes to blues, stirring sacred senses into a frenzy of lust. Roving eyes swivel left to write, thrusting wistful rays into phenotypes curved to perfection. Open-toed stilettos housing tasty pedicures click on cobblestones winding like a river through Gomorrah. Streetlights glow dim, shadows grow tall, scaling walls and towers like gray ivy. Seeds of love are sown between shrieks of inebriation. Some blossom into radiant nuptials. Most shrivel like leaves on seasonal trees, bitten by winter's merciless freeze. Ayo. So that's Big C Love. Thank you.
Thank you, Pablo. That was nice.
You're welcome.
Yes, ayo. Okay, so now it's Genie Nakano. Are you with us? I
No,
see.
I just want to listen because I'm cooking.
Ah, okay. I got you. You and Patricia. All right, cooking. Manny cooks a lot too. This is cool. All right. So with you not there, let's go to Carolina.
Let's bref, remettre le son avant de chercher le poème, c'est mieux. It will be in Spanish, so it's quite hard to pass from French to English than to Spanish. It will be a love declare. I already read this poem here too.
Well, give us a brief description of this poem. Are you going to read it only in Spanish?
Oh, I can. I think I just have this one in French and Spanish.
Okay,
it's
so
a
give
short
us
one, but
a
it will
brief
be.
description, please.
It's why I prefer not to say I love you to the one I love. But it's a declare.
Allez.
A manera de te quiero. No me importa tu ropa si te ves demasiado gordo o flaco, o si no te estás vestido de fiesta siempre que estés tú mismo. Te quiero con tu pelo indómito que hace Te quiero con tu jersey de lana encogido en el lavado que casi desvela tu barriguita. Te quiero con tus pantalones demasiado largos que chorrean en tus zapatos, con tu barba de 3 días y tu cara de muerto. Te quiero cuando olvidas de intentar acostarte conmigo, que solo eres tú. Te quiero cuando estás en tu burbuja, cuando te enfadas, cuando estás gruñón. Y no te lo digo, olvido, cuando te veo. Ni siquiera lo pienso, aprovecho. Yo me digo que si tú supieras lo que quiero en ti, supieras lo que pienso a veces cuando te veo. Y es como cuando sé que hay alguien que intenta sacar una foto de mí y pierdo mi espontaneidad. Y es esto que me gusta en ti, cuando estás libre de ser tú, solo tú, sin pensar en mí.
Bueno. Okay. Very nice. Number 2, Carolina.
Number 2 would be, let's begin reading it in English and just the Spanish version. It's very short, really very short. Waiting for sunrise. Only a blue horse and a dome. Federico García Lorca, Nocturno del Hueco. It's part of Poema del Cantejón. It's just a short. just for beginning. I closed my book. I shut out the radio. I shut down the light. I opened the curtains and let enter the night. In the kitchen, I ventilate the vap with strong fan strokes, waiting for sunrise. I savour the bubble, the blue hour, the star on the rooftop. And in Spanish.
Okay.
Cerré mi libro, apagué la radio, apagué la luz, abrí las persianas y dejé entrar la noche. En la cocina ventilo el vapor a gran golpes de abanico, esperando la madrugada. Disfruto de la hora azul, la estrella por encima del techo.
Bravo. Thank you. Solamente en mi casa, de la noche, en la noche. Yo, alone at night in my house. Yes.
Cooking time.
Yes, strange. Yeah. Profound things come forward. Okay, thank you, Carolina. Okay, so next we will go to Dharma Dave in San Francisco. Dharma Dave.
All right. Wow. That's all I can say about today is wow. everybody's on today.
Everybody's landing.
They are. Well, I'm going to take us on one more hot rod ride with Tom Waits.
Okay.
And this is Gun Street Girl. Falling James in the Tahoe mud. Stick around to tell us all the tale. Well, he fell in love with a Gun Street girl, and now he's dancing in the Birmingham jail. Dancing in the Birmingham jail. Took $100 off a Slaughterhouse Joe, bought a brand new Michigan 20 gauge, got all liquored up on that Roadhouse corn, blew a hole in the hood of a yellow Corvette. A hole in the hood of a yellow Corvette. Bought a secondhand Nova from a Cuban Chinese, dyed his hair in the bathroom of a Texaco. With a pawn shop radio, 4:15, left Wauhegan at the slamming of the door. He left Wauhegan at the slamming of the door. I said, John, he's long gone. He's gone to Indiana, ain't never coming home. I said, John, he's long gone. Gone to Indiana, ain't never coming home. Sitting in a sycamore in St. John's Wood, soaking day-old bread in kerosene. He was blue as a robin's egg and brown as a hog, staying out of circulation till the dogs get tired. Out of circulation till the dogs get tired. Shadow fixed the toilet with an old trombone. He never got up in the morning on a Saturday. Sitting by the Erie with a bull-whipped dog, telling everyone he saw they went that-a-way. Telling everyone he saw they went that-a-way. Now the rain's like gravel on an old tin roof, and the Burlington Northerns pulling out of the world. Now a head full of bourbon and a dream in the straw, and a Gun Street girl was the cause of it all. A Gun Street girl was the cause of it all. Riding in the shadow by the St. Joe Ridge, he heard the click-clack tapping of a blind man's cane. He was pulling into Baker on a New Year's Eve with one eye on the pistol and the other on the door. One eye on the pistol and another on the door. Charlotte took her satchel down to Kingfish Row, and she smuggled in a brand new pair of alligator shoes. With her fireman's raincoat and her long yellow hair, well, they tied her to a tree with a skinny millionaire. Tied her to a tree with a skinny millionaire. I said, John, John, he's long gone. Gone to Indiana, ain't never coming home. I said, John, John, he's long gone. Gone to Indiana, ain't never coming home.
And that's a wrap. Okay. One reference you made of it, day old bread, you know, and
kerosene.
Kerosene. Yet the old alcoholics in the old days used to pour kerosene and other fuels through bread in order to strain the alcohol from those compounds so that they could drink the alcohol.
Well, what I understand of Tom Waits' biography is he was a young alcoholic, but he's mended his ways. And his,
Okay, I wasn't referring to him. I doubt if he would have any pancreas or liver left if he did that.
No, but he was probably versed in that lore, though, I would imagine.
Yeah, he knew it. He hung around it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he knew about that kind of.
I'm just saying that was so alcoholism as it is, and it made the old days Elkies so desperate that they would literally get kerosene and other starter fuels and pour it through bread. They would call it sifting into a jar, and then they could drink the alcohol that came through it, you know. Yeah, yeah, really. That's some old school stuff. Okay. All right.
So how about we lighten it up here as I conclude my presentation for today. And Mo, thanks for organizing this and hosting us every week in this. This ain't the Gong Show.
This ain't the Gong Show.
So it's still technically the dead of winter here in the Northern Hemisphere, so I can read this poem. Winter solstice poem. Shortest day of the year is in fact here. Rain, fuzzy, darkening gray, quilting San Francisco Bay. Christmas shopping crowds in quiet overcoats, filling the roads, lighted storefronts twinkling in the streets, smells of roasting foods on the breeze. Head on home to bundle in a small Yuletide room with a small and warming drink, a quiet candle flame, and a small pen in a book. Long night gathers on this, the northern earth, gathers all to semi-hibernatory sleep. Thank you, everybody. Great pleasure to be with you.
Thank you, Dharma. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's move on now to Lydia. Hello, Lydia.
Oh, I was just looking for something just now.
Okay.
Okay, maybe someone can go before me. Who else is on the line?
Lawrence. Lawrence, could you go now?
Yes, I can go now.
Okay, thank you, Lawrence.
Okay, I've got a couple. I really appreciate those that read love poems. So I've got a couple of love poems. This one, when I think, it's a play on syntax. When I think, I feel love the way you do. Every other word, think, feel, say, do. That's the essence of each of us. Every other word, why, love you. Dare do utter a resounding I love you. When comes the dawn, unfold a morning leaf. Repose anticipates you too. And strike a chord, how say we do, whose spatial scent when reaching want, breathing love inside out in essence of. Touch my heart that throbs and bobs as it ought, who send vibrations connecting thought of what clings and deems why just that quoth, where sense of tempo pulsate both. To what do I bid adieu? Love you, I love you. Say softly words where can you hear? Embeds between the listen ear. Oh, how in tune when hung on tip of tongue. So beautifully, twice one sung. Face to face, twain who embrace. Well, I think I feel love, say you do.
Okay. All right, Lawrence. Please do number 2.
Please do number 2. That's okay. Who was it that said it's better to have loved and lost than to have never have loved at all? You remember?
Shakespeare.
Yeah. I do not smile or laugh, though you may say, oh, yes, you have. Remembering fondly of those happier times, cooking us up a pan of biscuits, the aroma stirring us both. Then you will recognize that faraway sadness in my eyes, as cold as those leftovers on the kitchen counter. My words have no meaning, though you may have at one time felt their intention. Oh yeah, I meant every word. Nowadays, monotone and ineffective, sound waves dissipating through the leaves falling. Although the recordings in our minds may bridge what once was versed through another's words of song, our song, spinning continuously in a circle, a chorus coming back around. I do not love. It left me vulnerable and hardened, and I have been stitching up that hole in my heart ever since, closing off those feelings so that only I can revisit them. And when the last stitch is sewed, maybe you can't access me ever. But once in a while, when noticing blood seeping at the seams, I fervently rip those wounds open just to feel you again, keeping me constantly rethreading the needle to stop the flow of pain. I do not cry. What's the point? Holding back the tears, dry eyes ask not why, of what was lost that once was ours so dear. No goodbyes, so I do not cry. They say I walk without a swagger and talk with something else on my mind. The hands of time stopped ticking when our companionship parted. Unattached from this world, from love, from you, it's so apparent. A love song without feeling, a poem without meaning, a smile turned upside down, a heart without a beat. Dead to this world we shared. The obvious doesn't show truth of the matter. On the inside, away from all the hullabaloo, I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't change a thing or exchange our love for nothing at all.
Okay. All right. And I'm glad you talked about cooking up biscuits. Biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy. Oh, I could eat me some biscuits and gravy. All right. Okay, well, thank you, Lawrence. And again, now, welcome to Angora Poets. Okay. So I see a message on the board here that Genie says she's ready to come back in because she's done cooking. Is that right, Genie? You'll need to unmute.
These are my experimentation with science fiction, haiku, and tanka. I'm trying, okay?
Okay,
So,
and for those that, well, Jenny, for those that don't know, tanka is a traditional haiku type. It's like a haiku, traditional. Whoa, who's not muted? Anyway, it's a traditional Japanese haiku type of poetry that preceded haiku, and that's Tonka. Okay, Jeannie.
5 lines and it preceded haiku about 500 years. And actually haiku came from Tonka. Okay, so here's my sci-fi. I woke up this gray morning floating above the bedroom door. No need for coffee. I pressed through the windows. A hummingbird dives into my hair. Instantly, I sprout wings. Tired of traveling back and forth in time, I decide to stay present. Found in the corner of my dance studio, a tin soldier. When I dust it off, it spirals up and away. Dog feces found on planet Mars smell like flowers. I love my Robbie, the robot vacuum cleaner. I call it sweetheart. Yesterday, it thrashed my boyfriend's toes. Those are all I could think of.
Roby the robot cleaner. All right.
Wow.
Bring it forward, that sci-fi. Okay, number 2, Jeannie.
That's it, because I'm in the kitchen and the rest of the
You're
stuff.
cooking too. Man, I'll tell you what. I wish the flavors from you guys' kitchens could come through this Zoom screen between you and Patricia and who else? Somebody. And Lawrence is talking about food. Yummy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I cook too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a vegan, and I heard beets scream in my pressure cooker, so I'm no longer a vegan.
Well, what are you going to eat?
Well, you can just, if you're going to be killing flowers and vegetables, you might as well start eating chicken and
Small animals too.
Yeah. I get a lot of I get a lot of bad looks, but I have said, I'm against, the unethical treatment of animals and agricultural animals, and I say to people, does a carrot scream when you rip it from its roots? My dear friends. And they look at me like, fuck you.
Ray Bradley wrote a story about that. That's where I kind of got that idea. He wrote a whole story about he built this machine and he could hear all kinds of things, and his next door neighbor was cutting the flowers and they were screaming.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
As Joseph Campbell reminded us, life lives on life. That's the first fact of life.
Okay. There you go. There's some truth about that for sure. Okay, Benedict is trying to get in, and Benedict is trying to get in. I'm trying to get her in. It's her waiters, so she keeps asking to get in. I'll try one more time. Here we go, Benedict. We're going to admit you. It says she's joining in now. It's a slow. It's a slow sequence here. So let's give a second to see if Benedict does get in.
How many time zones do we have going tonight? We got quite a few.
Yeah. Let's see, from California to Paris is 6, is it?
It's 7 or 8 hours, I think.
And
we start 11 a.m. California time.
And then we go to Ghana at an extra hour.
Well, it's 9 hours, right? Because you're 8 p.m. when you start, correct? Or 2000.
It's 6 hours from Paris to New York. So
Yeah.
9 hours.
Plus another 3 to California.
Yeah.
And we got Texas and
we got Texas, which is
Atlanta in
central.
between today.
Well, Atlanta's East Coast and Texas is it would be 1 hour more, 7 hours between between
Yeah.
Texas and New York. Yeah.
How about England? Are you on the same time as Paris?
I'm on-
They're
I'm
an
on
hour
Lon-
earlier than us.
I'm on London time, which is 5 hours later than the East Coast of the US.
And
Okay.
then I guess Benedicta is probably on a different time zone as well.
Yeah.
In Ghana.
So,
I
and
think it's 1 hour more than Paris.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
And
I dig it.
speaking of Benedicta, she keeps attempting to get in, and apparently her signal is I keep pressing it, admit, and maybe her signal is faltering. She talks about it falters it. Oh, here we go. Benedicta. Hello, Benedicta. Are you there, Benedicta? Benedicta, are you there? Oh, well, okay. She'll let us know if she comes on. Okay, so I believe I am the last or next to last one in this round. So I have 2 poems to read to you. And somebody's unmuted. I can really hear somebody up there.
What about Lydia, Mo?
Lydia's muted. So could everybody mute so we could eliminate the background
Did
noise?
Lydia read yet?
Lydia can read, huh?
Lydia didn't. Lydia, did you not read?
No, I didn't read, but I'm ready
Oh,
now. But if you have something, go ahead.
No, that's right. You needed to postpone to find some poetry. So we're ready to go with you, Lydia. We're ready,
Okay.
nice and ready to go.
I'm just gonna do one. This is called, I'll read it nice and slow. Braids of Hope. Mama's autumn content. She is every bit the woman, Virginia born, springing from Massey's Mills, rolling hills and bountiful beauty of the Blue Ridge Mountains, of dirt roads, of bobcats and blackberries, of the Piney River in the dark hollow near 56. Salvage these family memories of this autumn's equinox, braiding mama's hair, roping hope, hair always a morning ritual, rites of passage, comes alive with chatter of grandbabies, of crops, of hurricanes, a spiritual gathering in the kitchen, instinctively weaving blue magic, Dixie peach and finger dipping, feeling the soft, frizzy coils between fingers, parting into even sections, anointing her scalp, relaxes and soothe mood swings. She is forever a spirit within. My final cutting of one of her braids was my strength and adds to my wisdom that I hold on to. I hold on to her smile, her laughter, the way she spoke. I remember everything she taught us. The turning of the Milkman Matinee, Norman Rockwell. Her gifts were books. She gave out Colin Powell, Jimmy Carter's Always a Reckoning, Robert Frost's Road Not Taken, Baldwin and Sandberg and Ginsberg. Endless presents she gave to everyone. The love of culture, art and music, to learn about and discuss later. These are memories that will always be forever. As I sit back and listen to Wynton Marsalis, Kathleen Battles, the duet Baroque. It is of her. That's
All
it on
right.
that.
What a great testimonial. And Kathleen Battles. All right, haven't heard her name in a long time. That's great.
Yeah, they did a great piece. Her and Winter Marcellus, the aria Baroque was wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The people that we pay homage to, like we talked, Miss Battles and also Denise Levertov earlier. If you haven't read her work, it's a
Yes, I have her work too. Mm-hmm.
okay. Now, Benedicta, are you with us now, Benedicta? You're muted,
Yeah,
Benedicta.
hi Mo.
How you doing, Benedicta? Hey, I'm glad you're back on. Hello, hello. Hello,
I'm
hello.
good. I'm secured, so I was going on and off. Yeah, hi. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
My connection was that bad.
Okay, it happens.
So we are still in the second round, isn't it? I meant, are we in the second round?
Say what? Yeah, we're in the second round.
Yes, that's what I mean. So it's my turn now, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so let me take the first one. It's a micro poem before I go off.
Okay.
I read, an indignation unhooked and highlighted, kinked with a whisper of a breath. You mold me inside out. That's the first one.
Okay.
Then the second is a monoku. I'll take it twice. I read, devastating notions of a forbidden freedom in a signage. I take it again. Devastating notions of a forbidden freedom in a signage. That will be all.
Okay, Benedicta. I'm glad you got back on. Good to have you here with us. Okay.
Thank you. If I don't stay long, that means I have to prepare to go to the hospital tomorrow. So we'll definitely meet next week.
Thank you, Benedicta. We're always happy to hear you.
Same here.
Yeah. Well, now we've come to the end of this round with me reading two poems. I got this right, so everybody's gone. So, what I would like, let's see, I'm going to mute again. Okay, now I'm going to read. Well, I'm just going to read. I'm going to read this one which you call pretty much like a beat poem, and it's called "Slipping Out of L7." And L7. Oh yeah, I forgot. The papers blocked my microphone. Okay, so
yeah, Mo, I'm hard of hearing. Sometimes you sort of sink down, and I can't really hear. If you kind of direct your voice more towards wherever your mic is, please, because I want to hear your good work.
Okay, all right. Can you hear me now? Am I clear now? Okay. Then this first poem is a beat poem, and it's called "Slipping Out of L7." And if you put an L and a 7 together, you get a square. So it's a jive on square people. Okay. At 3 years old, I chose to rise, turned a handle on the door, a corner on a block, and I walked to this world and I looked at life. I have been preoccupied. Trains, boats, cars, planes, designs, dreams, plans, maps stamped on soles of my shoes. How to, where to, it's at, about doing it, damn. For 33, I stepped to rhythmic ticks of time, though not a tune I label mine, tune borrowed, broke, and blue. Today I put a hold on big round face of a majestic clock, gaze upon its round face and ponder, what my time, what my tune, finally to admit, I don't know the yin or yang of it. Big round clock chimes, take 5 and then some. The mainspring, the main thing you dig for, internal, simple, a clean baseline. I smile, calm, quiet. I'm a man sprung on parole. I'm not doing time, just taking time. I'm not doing time, just taking time. Not doing time, just taking time. Now, shooby-doo, wah, wah. Okay.
I like that.
You like that? Okay.
Nice.
And now,
Yes.
we talked about romance and its ups and downs and its disappointments. So this is another one I wrote to that woman I read to before about the winter, Liana, and this is cameo. I'm reading before a crowd. I'm earnest, and they're interested. To all the pretensions and how do you do's, and you walk in late as usual. And as you search for a seat, I stumble all over myself. Quick, somebody get the hook. Last night I wrote to you, rehearsed like Cyrano, down 6 cups of coffee and 2 packs of smokes, and still couldn't get it. My words, like bubbles, well-rounded and gentle, gliding on the whisper of my hazy breath, grazed your pink cheeks, burst your red lips. It was alchemy and gone. I almost had it, the perfect love poem. I sleep alone, and that's not funny, wrestling with the words in you, honey, until it comes, you are on the tip of my tongue.
All right. Well,
Good.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. And so we have gone through 14 poets in 2 rounds, and let me tell you this. We have gone through, are you ready tonight? English, Albanian, Guyana Creole, French, German, Spanish. We've gone through 1, 2, and Hebrew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 languages came across tonight.
Could be a record, huh?
We are a world cafe, and I love how the languages
And that many
unite
time
us.
zones.
And I really feel gratitude that our languages unite us, rather than having, that's really nice. So, say what now?
Just
I
keep
said
on
I'll be
trying.
coming out with friends.
Okay.
Stay with us,
Okay,
Benedicta.
well,
Okay.
I said I'll be coming out with a friend.
I'm back.
Okay. All right. Now, here's what I'd like to do. I want to thank Leticia and Patricia and Manny and Ermira and Benedicta and Genie and Bill and Laura and Pablo and Dharma Dave and Caroline and Claire and Lydia and Lauren. And I want to thank everybody. This has been one heck of a bang out night. So everybody, thank everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Applause.
Thank you, Caroline. How are you? Always a blessing to hear you.
Everybody.
Bill, everybody, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It is.
Yes. Thank you, Dave, Caroline.
Laura.
Thank you,
Thea,
Lydia.
Bill,
Thank you,
Mo, Jeannie,
Laura, Jimmy,
And this one will be
Bill,
worth a
Dave,
revisit.
Lawrence.
Mo,
thank you to everybody.
Lawrence.
Did I say everybody?
Glad to meet
It's
you.
great.
Nice to meet you, Lawrence.
Yeah, nice to meet you,
And
Lois.
thank you, Rorschach.
Enjoy the
little
town
dog.
hike.
Yeah,
Hope the
Rorschach's art.
computer must be
Yes, thanks,
thanks
Rorschach.
also.
Rorschach will get us all up on the internet so that we can enjoy this all over
So
again.
I'm signing off. I hope to visit with y'all again next time.
Okay,
Please
we'll
do.
Please do.
we'll be here next Sunday, same time, same place.
Same back channel.
Okay, that's it. Same bat shit channel.
I wonder if Adam West wrote any poetry. If he did,
I don't
want to
know.
recite it.
I was watching 1966 Batman last night. It was
That's
great.
the best, man.
Is it still entertaining when they do the words? You know,
Pow,
smack.
pow.
Yes, it is, Mo.
It is. It is.
It's as entertaining as when you were much younger and enjoyed
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So
All
sharp.
right. It's great. Well, then we'll say goodbye now. And as I do, I don't know how I'm going to summarize this poetry reading. There was so much going on. It could take the length of an article in the New Yorker or the Atlantic. And,
Maybe the
I'm
theme
so-
from Batman as your song. That's just
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Good night, everybody.
But that was great. So good night, everybody. See you next Sunday.
Great evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Be well. Bye.